live, but are you live?
Yeah.
Kind of live. We're half live. We all live. Can somebody tell us if we're live? How can we tell? Can you go on your phone right there, Aaron, and see if we're live?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Pull it up on YouTube.
We don't know if we're dead
My phone's on 16%.
or alive.
I got chargers. Don't worry.
So if we are live, you have to go to the email askben@benmallah.com. If you want to call in and you want to talk about, I don't care, real estate, or I don't care about anything really at this point. My leg hurts, but I'm still here. I've been fooling around with doctors and x-rays today. But anyway, go to askben@benmallah.com. And you give your phone number, I guess, if you're willing to give it out. That's the only thing you can do is give a phone number.
It's an email.
And a question, we won't give your phone number out to nobody. Or you go to Twitter. What did you say? Ask Ben?
Hashtag Ask Ben.
Ask Ben. And hopefully our producer will retrieve the information and call you up. So we're here testing out the new studio. It's smaller, but what we did was we took a little office in the building that we bought recently, which is larger than the old building because the old building got too small. And we don't need the old building anymore. So we took the pod room or the studio and moved it in here. Ben did, with our fault. And we're here in our new podcast room testing it out to make sure we can go live, do podcasts, and whatever the hell she does in here. And that's it. And then we're going to sell that building. And how much did we pay for that building?
I think we paid about $135. I think all in.
We should be saying that. There's going to be an auction now. Everybody knows how much we paid.
Why you ask me?
Public records anyway.
It's on public records.
We made improvements of how much?
At least 150. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No. We spent, we spent some good money on it. We
20,
fixed it up.
30,
yeah, about 20,
40,
30,
50?
40, 50 maybe. I don't know. No. Honestly, we only spent about 20 grand.
So we bought it for
I got Jorge and them in there for 15, and then over the course of time,
we bought it for how much?
135.
135. We split about 20 and 155. And man, if we can get 200 grand, I'd be happy. I mean, we're not trying to make money that much off. We just want to get rid of it because you got the association dues is how much a month?
$1,000, $983
for that building. Mm-hmm. And then you got taxes on top of that.
Taxes,
it's expensive.
Insurance.
If anybody needs an
electricity.
office, how many square feet is it? 3,000 something.
3,600 square feet.
If anybody needs 3,600 square feet in beautiful Largo on Ulmerton, the main artery across from Largo Mall, where you got everything you need and a great place to work. How many different offices in that building?
At least 10. 10
different spaces are in that. You can open up all kinds of. You can open up a call center.
Call center is what it was before we bought it. It was a telecommunications call center.
If anybody needs like 10 offices in one 2-story building with bathrooms and everything,
you could separate it. You could
kitchens
actually do
and all that stuff in Largo. Then let us know because we're selling it. We don't want to rent it. I mean, I'll rent it maybe with the right side. I'd rather sell it. So anyway, you get a steal of a building in a nice office complex, and you'll be right next door to us. So there you go.
But it's also going up for auction.
Right. And hopefully the auction will bring us 300.
At least.
How many square feet? $100 square foot is 300 grand. You can't get nothing for less than $100 square foot. But, we'll take the best cash offer that comes. Otherwise, I don't know. You can't live in and work in these places, can you? It's only
I don't think you're not allowed to, but I don't know. There's an upstairs, and a lot of people sleep over. And we got a Monday through Friday, but you got a permanent
It can't be
home.
like a live workspace. No.
Well, my dentist, because everything we do is in this little place.
Don't get him in trouble. What?
The dentist, when he first bought this place, it was like 35 years ago. Him and his wife lived upstairs, and they worked downstairs. That was, common 35 years ago. But it's a whole different building. I mean, this phase is newer. So he's in an old phase.
Well, why don't you check the association, what do they call them?
The
rules?
Docs, the association docs.
And find out if you're not allowed to live here. Because if you are allowed, and we wanted to rent to somebody, we want to have like a living space, we can throw a shower in.
Here.
Just double check.
I'll double check. I'll look in the paperwork.
Hey,
you gotta look. You gotta look. I'll look.
All right, moving on. We're selling one office. We're in a new one. Big deal. All right, what else?
Downsized to a smaller.
We got
we downsized to a smaller podcast room, so our business can grow.
And now we get all the fancy amenities too, like all the housekeeping Ben has in the main office here.
We got
the refrigerator's got water in it. The bathroom's got toilet paper. And not like he treated us like a stepchild in the old building when he moved out of it. And plus, it's all fresh and nice with new floors. Yeah, we're living large now.
That's right.
Because his office is here.
Equity Management Headquarters.
So, anyway, Today is Martin Luther King Jr.'s, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday.
No.
No, it was on the 15th, but we celebrated today.
It's the day we celebrate the national holiday.
It was on the 15th. You know, honestly, a lot of people, I don't think we give that holiday enough respect. I'm sorry. I don't care. If you don't agree with me, I don't give a damn. You know, it's just, you know, to me, it's just like common sense. Listen, the guy died fighting for rights to other people. And, you know, I mean, he was so ahead of his time. It's ridiculous. And how ignorant people were back then. So
it's ridiculous.
It just so happens that a guy that I hired, that I got when I, you know, Mike Brooklyn Mike said, I got a guy. I said, you know, I really could use somebody to help me around the house, do this, do that, help me with some work stuff, the cars, the house. It's a lot to handle. So if I had somebody to help me out, it'd probably be all right. So Brooklyn Mike had a guy, and I hired him. And his name is Matt. You know, your previous employer, if he sees this or hears about it, he's going to be pissed. Because he worked with him for a long time.
He's going to be real pissed.
Oh, man, 16 years you worked for him?
16 years.
And he paid you like 5 to 10 times what I'm paying you. He must have been a hard guy to work for. Anyway, we're not going to go there. But the point is, Matt is from Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm coming from New York City. Don't really understand the South. Never did. I mean, I can't even understand half the shit they say when I go down there. When I was in the Army, they used to think I was stupid because I didn't understand what they were saying. But you're from Atlanta, Georgia. So you grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and you were born in what year?
1980.
You were born in 80. So 1980 in Atlanta, Georgia, but how far out of Atlanta? Like, you weren't in Atlanta in the city,
No, I wasn't
right?
in downtown. It was about 45 minutes west.
That's like the country, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get down to it. So you grew up there. You went to all the schools there, the elementary, the middle school, the high school.
Right.
You went to high school?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty
For
good.
like 1 year.
1 year, okay.
But it was the graduating
Yeah, it's
year, so
1 year-
that's the one that counts.
Yeah, it's 1 year
the
more than
12th
me.
grade.
So, I mean, you grew up, and with is it okay to say the name of the town, or you get in trouble?
I don't think so.
I don't know how, 'cause, you know, there's a lot of races still down there, I think.
Yeah, there are.
I mean, Atlanta is probably one of the most, it's the heart of Atlanta or whatever. I mean, Georgia was like one of the biggest states that, you know, well, the worst. Let's just say it. I'm sorry. I mean, there was a lot of bad states. You know damn well Georgia was the worst, probably, because it was deep south.
Yeah, I got a friend that lives in Atlanta. And I was
So
just out there for
basically,
his
growing up
wedding.
there,
It's bad.
when you went to school, were blacks and whites in the same neighborhood?
No.
No. And were there blacks in your school in 1980?
Yeah, they were.
So
I was in school. I was probably started school in like 85, 86. They were in our school, but it's like we didn't. I mean, it was hard to, you know, hang out.
So even in the 80s, you know, the blacks stayed with the blacks, the whites stayed with the whites,
Right.
and there was a lot of racial tension, right?
Yeah.
What about today? I mean, what about
It's not
today?
as bad now. My son still lives there, and I go back home, and it's not anywhere near as bad as it was when I was there.
But, you know, I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, the problem is, I don't know what to say because people are just stupid.
There is a lot of ignorant people still live there.
I mean,
though.
you know, honestly, and a lot of people are probably going to hate me for saying this, and I don't give a damn or think I'm nuts. But you would think after you took these people and you ruined their entire lives and tortured and every horrible thing you can imagine was done to these people, taken, you know, kidnapped and taken and used as slaves, you would think that people would realize in 2020 that this was a horrible, terrible thing, and we should try to be, you know, not me, because my family didn't come to New York until, let's make it clear, until 1900. So they were chasing their own problems, people were trying to kill them. But, you know, you would think that people would finally realize, listen, it was a terrible thing that happened, and it was horrible, and if anything, we should try to be nice and forget about being racist. To this day is ridiculous. I mean, you think if such a terrible thing happened, let's try to be nice and try to, if we can't, you know, at least try to fix it, whatever. You know, people stop, you know, realize it was a terrible thing, and these people that hate them, the funny part, the people that hate them should be the people trying to be nice to them. Because they're the ones that started this shit in the beginning, you know? I mean, you know, people that came to this country later on in the world, in time, you know, I don't know. It's just, I don't know why it's still, people are the way they are. And he gave his life 50 years ago. 50 years, you know, I think, when did he pass away? He passed away he got killed in, when did he get killed? 1960, I think I was 5 years old, no. I was born in 65. He was killed
70s
when?
then? If you said
Look it up.
69 or
I
70.
mean, look it up and see. I think it was the 60s.
It was 1968,
1968.
April 4th.
So I was 3 years old. I mean, I went to the place where he was killed. That's a scary place today, even. I mean, you know, I mean, it's still, I don't know. It was in Memphis,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't know. I just can't believe it's like people living in the old days still, like idiots, you know. But anyway, I think it's an important holiday, a real holiday that means something. You know, we have these crazy holidays where everybody gives you gifts and all the different Christmases and Hanukkahs and all that stuff and, you know, whatever. But, I mean, this is somebody in my lifetime that gave his life for a real reason, you know, and devoted his life to it. And I think those are the real important holidays to think about, you know. So, I mean, I don't know. So growing up, I mean, it was the way it was, and there was nothing you can do. I mean, you know, so even if you wanted to have a black friend back then, it would probably be a problem.
I think I forgot the first friend was in 5th grade.
Was he black or white?
Yeah, no, he was black.
You don't seem like a person that has a lot of friends.
I don't. I only have a couple.
So he was black,
Yeah, he was a black guy.
and you didn't get any flack from the other
I
white
did.
kids. You did.
Oh, I did. We got in fights almost every day.
Yeah, I mean, it was just stupid. So, but it didn't. You know, it's funny. A lot of people, you know, like Matt. I know Matt's not prejudiced.
Not at all.
Because if he was, I couldn't have hired him. You know, if I thought he was a nut like that, I just no thanks, get away.
Yeah, you don't want to be around those people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's hard for the people that wanna in that area that wanna, you know, because they're afraid of all the criticism they get from it. But I mean, even today, it's gotten a lot better today, right?
It's gotten better, but I mean, it's still, there's a lot of racism in Georgia for sure.
But blacks don't live next door to whites.
No, they do now.
They do
didn't.
now?
Yeah, they do now. They didn't then.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know. The whole situation needs to be addressed, and it still ain't addressed, and people need to address it. And all the idiots that are running around worried about what color you are, I swear to God, I can't believe they got that much fucking time on their hands. Do they got that much money and their kids doing that good? Well, they must be hillbillies or idiots
Or they
because,
just don't care about their life.
I mean, if you got time to worry about somebody else and what color they are and all that, so who cares? You're only here for a short period of time. You're supposed to be working and doing something positive in your life. Who the hell's got time for that negative shit? It's like cuckoo.
Right.
All right. I mean, all right, fine. You know, back 100, 200 years ago, you're an idiot. But now we've evolved. Wake the fuck up. And, you know, it's ridiculous. And then, you know, with the other races, you know, they get, you know, like Mexican, always Mexican, you know, the Spanish, they get, you know, they have racism too. But unfortunately, they, you know, and anybody that's here except black people, they came here on their own, you know, and the black people were forced to come here, and nobody was treated the way they were treated. I mean, not in this country. So, I don't know. I mean, I really, all I want to say is at least I know one thing. I respect Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, and it's a real holiday because it means something. It means something that I know and I can see and I've touched or felt. So, to me, it's a real holiday. All right, so... Well, Matt, we appreciate your input, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, hopefully people will change and stop being idiots. That's all I could say. You know, judge people by who they are, what they do, how they act, fine. But don't judge by the way they look. You know, like people don't like me. I know a lot of people don't like me because I'm fat. Too bad. They don't like me because I'm Jewish. You know, who cares? Who the fuck? Who got time to not like somebody over something like that? You know, it has no effect in your life whatsoever. So, anyway, that's the story. Anybody want to talk about real estate on the line? That's, you know, I guess the main reason why we're here, because, you know, the world's going to hell with people yelling death to America and Iran, and the president's getting impeached, and it's like a friggin' cuckoo. I mean, you'd think our society would have evolved past all this craziness already. Shooting airplanes down full of people.
Oh, caller.
We have a caller.
We're calling.
We're calling. We call you. Don't call us. We'll call you.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. It's Ben and everybody. And how you doing? And we're here. How are you? What's
Hey,
going
how's it
on in the
going?
background? You having a fight?
Turn it down in the background, please.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Who's in? All right. There you go. How are you? It's Ben. You called? We were calling you. Will you accept
Hi,
the
how's it
charges?
going?
This
Thank
is a
you for
collect
calling.
call. This is a collect call from Ben Mallah. Will you accept the charges? You ever get those calls?
Yes.
This is a call
Yes.
from the correctional
Facility.
facility.
Hillsborough
And-
Correctional
yeah.
Facility.
But sometimes they wouldn't tell you the name. I say, who the hell do I know is in jail? And I probably don't want to accept the charges. So anyway, how are you?
I'll accept it. I'm good. And you?
Pretty good. What's up? Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Max. I'm from Westchester, New York. Looking to get into real estate. You know, I just bought my first apartment, bought a condo in Westchester. Been looking to, invest in out state, because Westchester properties are crazy
And
expensive.
Westchester properties, when I was like 12 or 13, I remember my cousin was in Westchester. Where you at? Like Ardsley, Tarrytown, that area?
So I grew up just
Bronxville?
north of White Plains. Yeah, so I just bought in Bronxville, but I'm originally from Mount Pleasant.
All right, so I don't know. I know what he was doing back then was he was taking big old mansions and turning them into apartments. But
Yeah.
I don't know. The price of real estate
Yeah.
must be crazy where you're at. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I bought my. I have a good salary. I'm a resident manager, superintendent in the city for a big property management company. So I have some money saved up. I got about like 150,000. And I was just wondering, what do you think is best? To invest in? Should I invest in? Should I invest locally or should I go out of state?
I mean, you gotta.
commercial.
I don't know where you live. I can't imagine there being anything to make any money on, especially with 150 grand.
Exactly.
Even if you got a decent loan, 150 grand is
Not gonna get you anything.
It's
a little bit under.
Wait, it's
a little bit under $1 million.
Half a million. No.
Yeah.
200,000 to get you $1 million.
200 grand for every
To get you $1 million.
Oh yeah, $1 million. You're right. He's
Right, a little under $1 million.
You might be able to get $700,000 loan, or let's see here, I don't know, somewhere around the neighborhood. But you're gonna have to find a location where there's some kind of value. Somewhere you can buy something, improve it, and make money. I don't know your area.
Exactly.
I ain't been there in 40 years. And it was expensive
Yeah.
then. I can imagine what it is now.
I mean, my family's in real estate. They bought a 4-unit property. That doesn't even cash flow.
Yeah, there's no point. Why work for free?
For it.
Unless they got appreciation on the value, but why work for
Exactly.
free? I hate that.
Yeah,
you buy
exactly.
properties with no cash flow. What the hell's the point unless
Unless it's going to appreciate in value
Especially
over the
because,
next couple
taxes,
years.
That's the thing. Taxes around here, especially on a fourplex.
I mean, you
you're
got
looking
to
at
you have to
35,000.
start going upstate, I guess. I don't know. Haverstraw. You ever been to Haverstraw?
Yeah, I've been up there a couple times.
My aunt was in a mental
not really
Where's
digging
that
into
at?
it.
institution there
Where's
when she
that?
was a kid or her whole life. So upstate, she
Yeah.
was like mentally, challenged, retarded. I mean,
Yeah.
we went to an
But,
institution,
my
Haverstraw.
real question to you is,
Sad, nice lady.
starting out, I'm
She was
young.
the only relative I got along with. The only relative I got
Figures
along
you'd
with was
get
my
along
aunt in a
with
mental
the
institution.
one in the mental
That was,
institution.
my family was nuts. But anyway, she was a nice nut. But I'm sorry, but you got to find a location, or I don't know, unless you can, I don't know. Honestly, retail,
well,
something.
my question to you is,
Ask an
since,
agent. Is there anything
should I
out there? Find an agent. You know any agents that are on the market every day?
Yeah.
Find an agent and say, hey, I can borrow up to $750,000 or whatever. I got a down payment of $750,000 loan. Can you find me any kind of property that has anything, an income, maybe 6 or 7 or 8% return, something?
It's hard for
And then you got the
750.
state tax on top of it that kicks your ass. So I don't know. I wish I could help you, but
I
I'm not
mean,
going to.
I'd say
my
recommend
real
go to a
question
different
is,
state.
Would you go out of state?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then how you got to manage it? It's got to be something that doesn't require any management.
Yeah, but for $750, you could almost buy, 10.
You
in
need
this
to find,
market, you can get 10 units in this market,
an expert
probably.
in your area that sells income properties. I mean, and maybe that person comes across a deal and you throw it your way and you tell them, hey, listen, if I fix it up and I sell it, I'll let you have it back. But you need an agent.
Yeah.
You got to find an agent. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, you have a great day.
All
I'm
right.
gonna
All right.
take
Thank you
care.
very
Thanks for
much
calling.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
I mean, if you go out of state and you go to like maybe a
knows?
rural area,
Where he's at,
maybe
it's
something
crazy.
that's coming up and coming, that's kind of, you got to maybe do your research, find the city or town that's up and coming, and maybe invest in that area. 75 a door right now get you 10 units. You're looking at stuff.
He
If
ain't
you could buy
finding
some, not
nothing
out
in
there, I
Israel,
said
he's
in a
at.
different state, but if you found a building right now for 75 a door, we'd be looking at it.
Yeah. You got anybody else calling? Oh, we got more callers. I don't believe it. Remember, if you want to talk, you got to go to.
Ask Ben Mallah at benmallah.com.
Thank you very much.
Email
Hello?
it.
Hey, it's Ben and your gang. How
Oh,
are
hi,
you?
guys.
How you doing?
How's it going, Ben?
Pretty good. How are you?
Excellent. Damn, this is cool. Thanks
So
for
what's
calling
up?
me, guys.
How can we help you?
Yes, sir. I don't know if you are familiar with Miami because I know you guys are in Tampa, I believe, but I don't know if you do like retail shopping centers, and like this one's a little bit different. It's more like it used to be like a wholesale center. It's called the Miami Merchandise Mart. I don't know if you've ever heard of that place.
Was it Old Flea Market?
No, it's a merchandise mart.
All right, so is it a single building? Let's get down to it. Is it a single building? One
Yes,
building.
it's a
One
single
building.
building.
How many square feet?
It's 300,000 square feet.
Holy macaroni. Empty. What is that? The old Sears? 300,000 square foot. Is it empty right now?
It's 30% occupied.
30% occupied. Okay,
Yeah.
that's not good. And I don't
It
understand.
needs-
Is it like
yeah,
a
it needs
mall?
some-
Is it like a mall where you rent out separate
It is.
spaces?
Yes, it's like a
Man,
mall.
malls are getting killed right now. But
Yeah.
so the point is, how much is it?
I mean, that we'd probably have to talk off air.
All right. Well,
I don't-
anyway, it's
I
not
don't-
for me. I
it's a
appreciate
little-
it. If you're offering it to me,
not for you.
I thought it's not. If
Yeah.
it was for you, I'd try to help you. But if it's definitely not for me because I'm trying to rent out my 1,200 square foot spaces and my 12,000
Yeah.
square foot spaces. I couldn't imagine taking on a project like that or having the expertise
Yeah.
or the connections to know what kind of stores to fill it up with. But I appreciate
But
the offer, but it's way out of our ability.
He said it's
and
30%
Miami,
occupied.
yeah, and Miami's, if it was in my own backyard, maybe even then, probably not. But it takes a a real good developer to get in there and knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
have connections and stuff.
So you're saying there's 210,000 square feet that's vacant.
30%.
You said 30% occupied is
200,
90,000 square feet,
Yeah,
210,000
yeah,
square
yeah,
feet.
Yeah. That's a
What
lot
do
of
you-
places like that.
What do you'd have to rent to
but the
Macy's.
thing
You'd
is,
have
the
to rent to
property has
everything.
a lot of. There's a lot of like the property is well worth it if you.
How's the
because
location?
It's right by the Miami airport.
Sounds like
Right by
maybe,
the-
I don't know, warehouse then. I don't know, but sounds like it needs to be
Storage.
repurposed if it was retail somehow, and now it's not. So it
Could you
sounds
go
like it needs to
industrial?
repurpose to be industrial or storage or something like that, but that's too much work for me and too far away, but I appreciate it. You have anything else? You good? Going to try to get to the callers. All right, but thanks a
Okay,
lot.
I-
But good luck if you're trying to sell it. Thank you.
Alrighty, Ben.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You got any more callers? More callers? That's up to number 3. Miami, big states like that, it's possible. Get in there, but I don't know the area. I don't know what goes on around there. Maybe you can do something connected with the airport with cargo. I don't know. I'm too old.
Parking.
And he's too busy.
Parking.
Parking. There you go. That'd be real close to the airport for parking.
Close to the airport
Indoor
for
parking.
Indoor parking.
Indoor parking.
Long-term valet indoor parking.
There you go. Park your car at the Miami airport
No,
and
you
leave it
get
here
the
for
guy,
6
you
months.
just pull up to the thing. The guy picks it up. He goes and he parks
Car
it over
storage.
there. Car storage.
Boat, too. There's a lot of boats in
Boat
Miami.
storage, yeah.
Car and boat storage back there. Got the whole inside, and I don't know. Too much
Cart
for
into a
me.
car museum.
Too much work for
Like
me.
the guy in Orlando wanted to do with the
I don't
mall.
want to think about the car museum. That guy. Anyway, who else you got? What do you got? What do you got? Hello? Hello? Nobody. So anyway, what else is going on? Tomorrow,
Oh, you know what I got for you?
Trump goes to trial.
After this call, I got some work for you.
Work for me. I'm tired. I got a bad
got some
leg.
work for
I
you.
ain't got time to work.
He's not
I
answering?
want to retire.
No answer. Look,
no
man, I
answer.
got some work for you.
No work for me. Shit.
Here, take this. This is a day in the life of equity management. I need you to sign all these checks.
Oh, hell no. Don't you have a fucking stamp?
Not for you. I got my
You
stamp.
got a stamp? Well, then stamp away, baby.
I got a stamp.
You need to take this shit home if you
But
have to.
you don't get a
Like I
stamp.
used to. I used to do this shit. I am
Wait.
not signing off.
Sign all these checks for me,
No.
especially that one.
I don't want to see him. Holy
Look at
shit.
that.
What the fuck is West Elm? $125,000 for what?
Rehab.
Who's
New
West
furniture. New furniture for one of
Says-
the hotels.
Elm? It says West Elm Business Sales. I hope it's, what do we put, desks or something in the
I think
hotels?
this is for furniture.
125,000. What are we getting here? We got nightstands they sell. Oh my God. $90,000 worth of Enoch wing chairs? I thought those chairs. Why are they $340? He was buying office chairs for like $40.
It's not an office chair. It's a side chair. It goes in the hotel.
$340 for a chair?
Brand
90.
franchise.
What hotel is this for? For
Site-
Tampa? Oh my God.
Sheraton, Tampa.
Man, Happy told me, I hate to tell you, that's only 125 grand?
Yeah, you still got about 900 to go.
Shit, Happy told me it was in the millions. We're going to have to come up with millions of dollars to buy new furniture, which is fine. The furniture's fine already. I don't see why. It doesn't even look that bad to me.
So you're not going to sign these for me?
No, you do it. I ain't got time.
All right, I'll
I'm
take it
tired.
home.
Take it home, and that's your homework. You got to stamp it.
Yeah, but you got to approve
You know what
it.
you do? You should teach.
You know, the thing is,
you
you
need
have
to
to-
teach Abby how to do it.
Abby
Yeah,
just
Abby.
we have Abby
Okay.
going through it. We got to look at the account numbers,
How
make
old
sure
is
the
she, 2
account
now?
numbers 2.5.
She's 3. She should be able to stamp checks. Okay, I'm telling you, train her to do that now. She'll do it. I used to make you do work for me.
I licked envelopes
Yeah.
and mailings. I remember.
I think it done permanent damage.
I remember we would sit in your office. No joke. I remember. You remember the night we sat in
We
your
used to
office?
mail out. We
and did
mailed out
mailers. We'd sell-
thousands and thousands of pieces of mail to people, trying to get them to advertise with us, or sell their house to us,
Or have us rent the
or have us
apartment.
new management. And we were running a newspaper and everything.
And
You got a
one-
caller?
And well, one night, my dad, something happened, and he got mad at me, and I was going real slow, and he got mad at me, and I started going real fast. And my uncle comes in and goes, "What the hell did you do to him?" He goes, "I spanked him, and now he's working."
No, we started using the sponge. I remember.
That's after I got sick, probably.
Yeah, right. What? Hello.
Caller.
Hello. How are you? How are you? It's Ben.
Hey,
Ben.
hey guys.
Matt.
Is-
Aaron.
So
We're all here.
I had a question. When you guys are looking at buying real estate deals, is there certain like IRR or cash on cash that you're trying to hit from like a return standpoint?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. You know, we want to get as much
I mean,
cash flow as we can.
we typically look at cash on cash deals. We want to be at least 20%, I would think. Cash on cash is where we want to be. We're happy. You know, today's market is heavy, so it's hard to find those deals. You know, 15, 20, that's a good number, you know, that you're always going to.
I mean, typically, if you buy something at a cap rate of around 5 or 6,
It should cash
and then
on
if you
cash.
go out and borrow the money at 4, then you're going to make that spread and get more cash on cash on your investment. But you know, you should try to get as much as you can. I mean, I've been looking at, you know, deals that are paying now because the market's tough, like 15%. You know, you don't want to work for free, so you got to be careful. So, what are you looking for?
Well, I don't know. I guess I was just asking because when I'm looking at deals, I don't know what is a good return I should hit with real estate.
Well, you know, it depends on how much work you got to put into it. You know, if it's real estate that doesn't require a lot of your time, you know, then you can get 10% on your money. That's, you know, pretty fair. You're not going to get that on no savings account or any tax-free muni bonds or anything like that. You're only going to get around 3. So, you know, it depends on how much work and liability and risk you're going to have in that real estate. The more you have to put in, the more you should get out. Now, if it's a triple net deal where you're buying a Kentucky Fried Chicken and you're going to do nothing whatsoever, you know, if you can get a 7% return on your money on that, and then finance it, and get probably more like a 14% return than or 12, whatever it is, then you know that's the route to go. The more you do, the more you should get in return.
Right.
Okay,
Great.
Very
Well,
good. You have a good luck, and I
thanks.
hope you find what you're looking for.
Yeah. Then this is hello from New Mexico.
New
You guys
Mexico.
have- Yeah, I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I've never been to New Mexico.
Me neither, but I had a cousin there, and I don't think he's alive anymore. But that's great. I heard there's really nice places in New Mexico, right? Albuquerque's nice, yeah. Oh, great. Good luck to you. I've been seeing deals for Albuquerque. You should be able to find, some income property or something there.
Okay, great.
All right, good luck
Thanks,
to
guys.
you. Thank you.
All right, bye.
You have another caller? I don't believe it. That's number 4.
You got a lot of people that want to talk to you. You hit 100,000
It's not
subscribers.
that they want to talk to me. It's that they're sitting on their ass and they're saying to themselves, I want to get off my ass and make some money.
And that's what the world should be doing instead of sitting on their ass, not
Worried
making
about
any money.
whose color anybody is
Exactly.
and what stupid shit. Who's got time to hate anybody? You got to make that money and live life as best you can. So the people that are calling in are people that want to better their lives. Even Matt. Matt has been dragging me around looking at shithole duplexes to help him.
Matt, you
I don't
finding a
mind.
duplex?
He made me go look at a place that should have been knocked down the other day. How much was it? $195,000 for a fucking knockdown.
Yeah.
But it was around the corner from the jewelry store, Silver Queen.
Yeah, right
Area
around
was
the corner,
okay.
Silver Queen.
If it was knocked down, but you can't knock it down. It's too much to pay for the land value. The thing needed a knockdown. I wouldn't even think about rehabbing it. It was a shitty little space. But keep an eye on it because they wanted only 110 at the auction. They said
115, yeah.
so. Then
115?
if they don't get that, maybe tell your agent, listen, it didn't sell for even 115 at the auction. Offer them 50 grand cash, and then you can always go up 60, 70, 80. Then you knock the stupid thing down, and you order yourself a friggin' modular duplex to be planted there, and then you'll probably do all right. So you got to keep an eye on sometimes. Sometimes deals that you look
do
at
real
now,
good.
they may not be a deal right now because the seller doesn't have his head on straight. They think they're going to hold out for the money, and then a month from now or 2 months from now, that deal might become a deal. Somebody's got to wait it out,
Like the one we're looking at in Seminole right now. He's been
Seminole.
on that one since October of last year.
He ruined that place,
So,
idiot. All right, we got another caller. Hello. Ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. You have not. This number
Sorry,
is
your call
dialed.
could not be connected.
As dialed.
Ben,
Yeah, hello. How are you?
pretty good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Who are you?
My name is Molson Hart. You can call me Mike if that's easier.
Molson Hart, but we can
Yeah,
call
like
you
the beer.
Mike. Oh, okay. All right, Molson, what's up? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Austin, Texas. I just moved to Austin.
Heard it's a nice town.
I have some money from a business, from 2 businesses that I run, and I'd like to put it in real estate. And what I'm worried about, it's about $1.6 million. And what I'm worried is that just prices are too high, both locally and across the United States. So I've been looking at foreclosures and tax liens, but I'm just not really sure what to do. And
Are you talking about
I have one other
1.6
question
million
for you after we
cash?
get done with this.
You talking about
Yeah,
1.6
cash.
million cash? Where do you got it sitting at right
Yeah.
now is the question. Is it somewhere safe and earning some kind of return?
It's spread across multiple, like 2% savings accounts, and then I also have an account on TreasuryDirect.gov because I don't really trust the banks.
Trust the bank.
Number one, you know what you need right now? Seriously, you got $1.6 million right there. I scream at my stockbroker all the time, or money manager, whatever you want to call him, if he has any cash sitting around, because you need to get with like a real money wealth management guy that can put that money in preferreds right now with the banks, even a tax-free muni bond. You could probably still get 3 to 3.5%, and that's the government. Even like local
and they're
cities.
backed up. They're rated. They're AAA rated. They have insurance
Well,
on them.
I
So
have money outside of the cash. That's just the cash I have. I got. Like,
All
a
right. Well,
few
you definitely should put it
businesses.
somewhere.
So,
Let me
I'm
tell you
taking
why.
Lots of risk in other
Okay.
areas.
Let me tell you why you also want to stick it with I use Merrill Lynch. Okay. You know why I use Merrill Lynch?
Yeah.
Because, well, number one, I know the guy that manages my money. He has a great history, and you check these people out, and he has a lot of wealthy clients. But they are your ticket. By you putting the money with them, then they're the ticket to you getting great loan rates through Bank of America, who owns Merrill Lynch. So You need to take that
Yeah, but
money
why
and
can't I
establish
just, like,
yourself.
show like my bankers like my deposits and my businesses and my tax returns and use that to get good loan rates. And then why don't you just use like index funds with Vanguard or something like that?
I mean, anything you feel comfortable with that's getting you a decent return on your cash is great. All I'm saying is don't let it sit around in a bank account at 2%. By the time you pay the tax on that,
Yeah,
it's
but
1%.
I don't know.
Well-
Everything seems so expensive, and I'm taking
Well,
lots of risks.
at least park the
outside of
money
that
somewhere
cash.
safe that's going to start giving you accessibility to people that loan money. Okay? You want to use your money to be, it shows, all I'm saying is it helps you develop relationships with people that loan money. By
Yeah,
putting
the
money in
bank
their
wants to-
bank,
the bank wants
they
to see
see
you
your
have money,
stability. They see you got money in their bank. They're going to be willing to loan you money. As far as finding a deal, I don't know about Austin. I heard it's a really nice town, but I think I don't know what's near Austin. You were stuck in Houston for 3 years. You don't know Austin, do you?
No, I didn't
I
go
mean,
up to
what's the
Austin.
closest town that has real estate? For where it's less expensive. There's got to be somewhere out in the
So
suburbs.
basically, in Texas, like you get really good buy to rent ratios once you leave the cities. But once you leave the cities, it's like kind of like investing in C properties or investing in like places where people don't have a lot of money. You
Go
get
Section
more
8.
like itinerant renters and stuff like that.
Go Section 8. Just where your money, you'll get your money every month. Any place you can go, buy some C-grade apartments and rent them out through the housing authority, local housing authority. Where the people have Section 8 vouchers. Is there any opportunity like that?
I don't know.
Well,
gotta
the
look
thing
at
is this: if you go to a rougher or poor neighborhood, and you're afraid of not getting your rent because people ain't got a lot of money, then try to go see if there's a housing authority, find a housing authority, and see if there's a demand for people that have Section 8, to rent there. I mean, the market's definitely coming down. I'm gonna tell you right now, Texas is the first one to get hit.
And you got all the taxes out there too. You pay double
Well,
It
I
taxes.
wasn't
pay
like
double
that
school-
in
school tax,
yeah.
2008 though. Texas like held its prices where
Yeah,
Florida got
Texas.
it.
Hey, listen, you gotta the harder you look, and let me tell you right now, if you're really serious, the kind of money you got, you should be serious. You need to find what are you looking for? Like multifamily? Is that what you're interested in?
Well, I have a business that has like a big warehouse, so like I know e-commerce and stuff like that. I really like your Amazon strategy, by the way. Just like invest in any retail that's not affected by Amazon. So I like know industrial pretty well, but industrial just seems like it's a way worse asset class versus residential. You can depreciate less because like there's less cost segregation, and like it's harder to get tenants. I know it better, but it sucks.
Well, you got to go where you can make the most money. I mean, I don't know industrial. I run away from it because I don't have any experience. But if you have industrial property, you wouldn't be able to personally rent it, could you? You have the ability to rent out an
I
industrial
can
space?
personally rent it.
I mean, but can you actually find
Sorry,
a
I didn't
tenant?
catch your question.
Can you? Let's say you bought a building tomorrow for whatever, really cheap, $50 a square foot. I don't know, whatever. And
I can rent it.
You can rent. That's what you should be doing. If you have the
I can
ability,
actually occupy it.
well.
Oh,
but
you're
wait a
talking-
minute.
then you're not getting collecting any money. Then if you're self-occupying it,
Yeah,
Are you
sure.
saving money then? Are you saving? How is it going to help you by occupying it?
Oh, so the problem is, all right, so here's the situation. I have a warehouse that's like 50 minutes east of Dallas. That's 27,000 square feet. And the yearly rent is like $2.22 per square foot per year. And like it's a really favorable lease, but it's like out in the country.
70
And
grand.
that rent is just like extremely cheap compared to kind of like a place where you'd want to own a warehouse. And then the situation in Texas, it feels quite different from the situation in Florida because like land is just like way less available in Florida than it is in Texas. I mean, maybe once you get up to Tampa and north of that. it starts to
Yeah.
become-
Texas has got a shitload of land. You're right. They got no zoning either, I don't think.
Yeah.
But,
Like,
all right, so
very-
what
there's,
works
like,
for
no
you?
replacement value
So you
kind of
can't make a
thing.
lot of money on industrial is what you're saying. It's too cheap. The rent's too cheap. All right,
I-
what about
I don't really
Garland?
know.
You ever heard of Garland, Texas?
Yeah, I know about Garland.
All right, they had a bunch, I
Yeah.
remember, apartments there I looked at, B, C class. Garland looked like a good
So
town.
here's
What about
the other thing
Dallas?
I think
Listen, you need an
about
agent. That's what you
industrial.
need. If you want to go into multifamily, you need to contact every multifamily broker there is in any areas of Texas that you're willing to go to, and you need to get with them and say, listen, I'm looking to buy a deal. All right? And you need that. An agent is in the business. I mean, when I was in Houston, I flipped a lot of properties. We flipped.
At least 7 or 8, and that was only the course of a couple
And
years.
that was just popping in and out of town. I was flipping.
Yeah.
Them. So, you got to go with whoever the brokers are that are moving the multifamily and start looking on LoopNet. You can start seeing a lot more stuff come up on LoopNet because the market's turning. I feel it. But, you're going to start seeing more stuff. But get a broker. Find somebody that's out there looking for you and presenting deals to you and start going to all the websites. Everyone. Marcus and Millichap, CBRE, Colliers, whoever, whoever the commercial brokers are. All right? You need a broker.
Did you guys move to Tampa because you looked at like the demographics?
I looked at the whole country,
cities
but
and you're like, this
every New
looks
Yorker
good?
wants to move to Florida.
Oh, it was either this or Vegas.
Yeah, I was going to go to Vegas, but
Hey,
I
when
don't
we
want to
went
raise my
Vegas,
kids in Vegas.
That's where I wanted to go, but he wanted to go to Florida.
Yeah. I saw the most growth in the
I
middle
got
of
one
Florida.
other question for you.
Okay.
Well, so first of all, thank you for that advice, Section 8, all that stuff. I'm gonna try and remember the call. The other question is, like, I gotta ask you, like, I watched your whole YouTube series, the first one, the second one, and I follow you on Twitter, and I love it, and I've learned a tremendous amount. Like, why do you do it? Is it because you want to go to heaven? It was because you're gonna start selling like real estate PDFs? Is it because you want to like run for politics? Like,
I don't know why. It just feels like the right thing to do. It just feels like the right thing to do. It's fun, it makes life more interesting, it's nice to help people. We don't down doing it for the money, but it's just something we want to do and we're doing it. So, it feels right and people like it. As long as people like it, I'm going to keep doing it. And, we're not the greatest and we ain't no big shot production, but, hey, if people are interested in real estate, we're willing to try to help them what we know. All right. Hey, you have a great day, and we're going to move on.
Thank
so
you.
take care. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, one thing I keep seeing,
What's that?
somebody keeps asking, what kind of glasses are those?
Ooh,
and I kind of
baby.
want to know, too, because I
Yeah.
like them.
Yeah.
I want to know, too, because I like
I
them.
remember when he bought
I
him.
bought him in Greece.
Yeah, Greece.
Athens,
Greece.
I was
Greece,
about to
in
say Italy.
Louis Vuitton, and it was the real Louis store, not Canal Street where you buy yours at.
Hey, don't tell
That's
everybody,
called
okay?
Louis Vuitton.
Chanel Street. Chanel
Instead of a V,
Street.
they put a B, they call it
Chanel.
Vuitton.
Why do you think I go to New York all the time? I got to get
know.
my
Knockoff.
knockoff fix.
And you have to open that door again because I need a cigarette.
All right. Why don't you vape?
All right, what else
Here,
you got?
vape,
Any more
vape,
callers? Are we
Vape.
done?
Look at how...
I'm not vaping. Did you read the fucking papers or listen? Vaping's bad for you. Vaping's gonna kill you. Look at all that smoke. That's like 100 packs of cigarettes. All that smoke.
But you could do like
I
designs
don't
and
care.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's not good for you. You're breathing in. I'm breathing in tobacco. This is natural. Comes from the earth.
Natural vegetable oil.
You know? All right. What do we got? You got somebody else? Hello. So anyway, I wish the world would start being a nicer place to live. That's all I got to say.
Well, when I grew up in California, it wasn't like that.
I don't want to see a bunch of guys go over to friggin'
was
Middle
different.
East, get killed, for what? I mean, leave these people alone. Let them, they want to live in the dark ages and stand up and yell death to America and all that crap. Leave them alone. That should tell you. Let's leave these people alone. When thousands or millions of people are standing in a crowd and one old guy up there with a turban on his head and they're all going death to America in England, you need to leave these people alone because you can't rationalize with these people.
Caller on the line.
Crazy.
Oh,
Call online.
caller,
Sorry about
caller.
that. Hey, how are you?
Yo, Ben, I can't believe it.
I don't believe
the real
it.
estate mogul himself
is
is
I'm a
calling
mogul,
me.
not a mogul. Hey, how are
Oh,
you?
How old am I? I'm 34.
No, I don't care how old you are. How are you?
Oh, how am I? I'm doing good, but I got some questions
All
for
right,
you.
let's
I'm
go.
hopefully-
Shoot,
Okay,
baby, shoot.
Really quick. First of all, where do you see interest rates going? Do you think we're going to see negative interest rates?
No,
Negative,
not
no.
negative. Not negative. We did see LIBOR go so goddamn low. I was dancing, okay? Because
Especially on fixed
when
loans.
LIBOR went down to 0.25 and the bank was charging me only 2 points on top of that, I was getting mortgage statements for 2.25. It was great. But I think they're going to just stay where they're at, and they might creep up depending on the economy, but I think we're at the bottom in interest rates. And it's practically free money. I mean, they're pretty low right now. I think I'm doing 3.5s now. I think FHA is 3.25 or something. I think that's a pretty reasonable place to go.
FHA's 3.25 right now.
3.25, baby. 3.26 the other day. You better refi that house. Oh no, you're too big of a mortgage.
And I'm
they got
good.
limits on that. You're a big shot. You bought $1 million house. Big shot bought $1 million, 1.3 million.
It was 1.365.
10% of mine. So I'm sorry. Hey. So I'm sorry. I think
No,
interest rates are staying the same. So, and if you could buy a deal, but what do you want to do? What's up?
Well, right now I've got 12 properties, and I'm trying to sell them off and go into commercial. But I'm also concerned. My next question was, where do you see commercial real estate? Are we headed towards deflation? Cap rates are so low.
You got 12 houses? Is that what you got?
Well, houses, duplexes, yeah.
Okay. Are they making money?
Yeah, no, they're making money.
Okay.
They're printing cash.
All right, this is what I would do. If I was you, I'm just telling you what I would do. You do what you want, talk to the accountant. But if they're making money, you need to sit down and figure out, because you know what you could do is you could blanket them all together like a commercial property and
They're
get
not
one
in the
loan
best
on them.
area. They're in Illinois.
So who cares? I mean, they're making money, they're making money. If you can prove they're making money, that's all the bank cares about. So I would before you think about selling them, unless you're going to get a tremendous amount of profit, I would think about refinancing them and pulling money out of them and using that money to go in a new deal. So you still got the cash flow from them and you got the money to go in a new deal. Or, it depends on what your profit is. You want to sell them, how much you going to make on the average property if you sell them?
About $100K.
On each one, so you'll raise about $1.2 million on the sale?
That's right. That's where I'm projected. Projecting 1.1, 1.2 plus I've got my own personal house I'm selling. I'm going all in into real estate now.
Well, man, you better be careful. It's timing. You can't go. You got to find a deal. Right now, if you sell those properties and you can't find a deal, then what? You're kind of screwed. You got to be careful.
Thinking if I look hard enough and I network hard enough, I could find something. But I'm just worried.
Why don't you try finding it first? All right. Let me ask you this. Can you go out and borrow any money on the houses you got right now?
I can, but I'm not comfortable staying in Illinois. The state's going to hell.
Where are you going? Well, let me tell you, Illinois has always been that way. It's always been Chicago. Come on, it's. I hate to use the word corrupt, but didn't the mayor go to jail there or something? Or
last three
governor and last three mayors went to jail. All right. Anyway, so let me ask you, where do you plan on moving to?
Well, you see, my wife's a physician, so she gets picked up as she's finishing her residency. We're moving to Ohio next, and then after that, who knows where we're going to be? Hopefully, Florida.
Oh,
Hopefully.
so basically, you got to sell no matter what, because your wife is going to start jumping around. You're going to jump around with her while she's becoming a doctor, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I picked up a move. I'm no longer in Illinois. I'm in Minnesota right now. Actually, I was looking at that one caribou that you also saw on the podcast.
Caribou. That was just something I picked up. But if you got to sell, the only problem is, if you can, try to sell everything at one time. Tax-wise, I don't know. You better really think about the taxes you're going to pay, too, if you don't 1031 all that. And that's like, if you sold them all at the same time.
Reverse 1031 exchange.
You got the money?
Sell a couple of them. Well, sell a couple of them, take the profits, reverse 1031 exchange, getting a, retail, but still kind of scared of, where cap rates are. I mean, what about if there's deflation? What about if I lose my capital?
Well, retail's great, but you got to stick to stuff that the Amazon can't hurt you. You got to stick to the service type industries, the nail shops, the pizza shops, the haircut shops, the stuff like that Amazon can't do. Subways, sandwich shops. Food and beverage is actually pretty good right now, provided you don't get with a company that's not strong. We bought a Sweet Tomatoes the other day. Sweet Tomatoes actually they went bankrupt. They filed for bankruptcy a couple of years ago, and then a company came in and, got rid of all the bad stores and hopefully fixing up the ones that are left to make money. But we bought it for the location, because if Sweet Tomatoes does go bye-bye, we'll double the rent.
Yeah, that location's
So, it's all about location with retail. That's the main thing. If you got a good location, you're pretty safe in retail. But, you got to get out there and find some brokers to help you and do your homework. But sounds like you know what the hell you're doing, so you just got to do it. But
I wouldn't go that far, but I've been a lot of lucky. But Ben, one more question, because I know you're going to jump to the next call. Do you cost segregate your multifamily? Do you
I typically I don't do cost segregation because, I don't really keep them for a long time. The properties I do have for a long time, maybe I should do it and I should look into it, but you know, I can't do everything. But typically, you do that for properties I heard that you want to keep for like 20 years or something like that. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe cost segregation, the only value, I've looked into it, I've had people approach me, but I believe they told me that we needed to at least hold them for 5 years to see a real value increase in it.
Right now, just find the deal. Find where you're going to take all that money you got, $1 million, $2 million, whatever you got, and find where you're going to put it into. But it's got to be somewhere where you're going to be living at. So, you know, very good. Good luck to you. Take care.
We got a question.
His wife's going to be a doctor. He'll be taken good care of.
He'll be good.
All right.
We got a question. Aaron, can you read that question when it pops
What else
up?
you got? What else you got?
Well, you got a question.
You know, that's it.
All right,
All
take
right,
care.
thank you.
Good luck. Wear a coat in Minnesota. Must be
Aaron,
freezing
what's that
ass
say
out
over there?
So, what other
What
other hobbies do you do besides real estate? Like your
what
favorite
is
things, you know?
Ben's- Why don't you just read what they wrote?
That's the same thing.
It's the same
It's
thing.
the same thing, Dad.
He said, what is
What
the
other
hobby? Yeah.
hobbies or things that you like your favorite things to do besides real estate?
If I'm not working and doing real estate, I'm doing whatever the hell my wife tells me to do. I mean, between her and Aaron and the golf and the basketball and then my niece and whatever and activities, I don't know. I just do whatever they tell me to do. Basically, until Aaron graduates high school in 4 years, I'm basically just a prisoner working and doing whatever the hell I
You
want.
have hobbies.
I mean, I like to go out
Like
on
what's
boats.
your, yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
go
like
out on boats
But I
and,
charter them. I'll rent a boat maybe
That's a
and hang
hobby.
on that.
Yachting,
You
that's
know,
a hobby.
Yachting,
Take
yeah.
my wife out and keep her happy, basically. You know, keep her.
Eating.
Right now, I just keep the wife and kids happy. You know, I have no life. That's a man's life. Face it. You know, you work hard. You provide for your family. You try to get in the best place they can, the best school, the best place to live. Keep them happy because I was never happy as a kid. And then hopefully I won't be too damn old in 4 years where I'll be free. And I'll be able to enjoy life and travel and stuff. But, you know, right now I'm just want to get myself in shape. I'm going to start doing that, but my foot fucked up. And anyway, that's the story. But I like boating and I like, you
Eating.
know, traveling and
Traveling
stuff.
and seeing the world
Yeah,
and
see the world.
Cuisines and
I was in the Army. I saw the world. Okay, who else you got?
Hello, is this Ben?
I don't know. Who's this? How are you?
Caden. I'm from North Carolina.
Caden from North
And I just got a
Carolina.
couple quick-
Caden is like...
it's like a song. That you
Cadence
march
is
in
what
the
we
military.
sang in the
That's a
Army.
cadence.
Cadence. Oh, cadence. Okay.
I know what you were thinking.
That's
now.
right.
And you're near Fort
26.
Bragg. I bet you somebody in your army, somebody in your family was in the army to name it Caden.
Yeah, my dad was a dentist in the Army. That's where he originally came to North Carolina.
No, he
from.
couldn't think of a name.
Cavity, cadence.
Cadence,
no, I'm just
cavity,
kidding.
there you
I'm
go.
playing with you.
So how can we help you today? How?
Too funny.
What's up? What's up?
Well, so I'm 26. I got into real estate when I was 23, and I'm trying to scale. I'm at 10 units currently. And I've been watching you guys from the beginning and trying to glean as much wisdom as I can. And I had a couple questions.
I don't
that,
mean to cut you off, but do you already own 10 units, you said?
I do, yes.
At 26, you own 10 units? That's great.
Yeah, I've been
You should be
working,
very proud of
working
yourself.
hard since-
So
Yeah,
that's
working
great.
hard. Most
Are they
of-
all
most of
10
our
units?
duplexes.
Are they spread out,
Duplexes.
different places? Okay, great. Well, you should be very proud of yourself. So what's the problem?
Thank you. Well, I don't have a problem. I've been doing very, very well with them, and like I said, my questions were: I wanted to know. I was thinking about getting in. I have most of my stuff is not low income, not quite as low as Section 8, but right above that. So it's kind of a sweet
A lot
spot.
of people that
I
are on
wanna
Section
know
8 work. You know, they just get a little help with their rent. Not everybody gets free rent, but go ahead.
That's true. So I wanted to know. There
Don't
are
be hating on
some
Section 8,
lower-
goddammit. If it wasn't for Section 8, I wouldn't be here right now. Shit. Go ahead, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So there are some lower income stuff that I was looking at, and one of the questions I had was, with the stuff you guys buy, as far as the age of houses or buildings or different type of multifamilies, do you stray away from something if it's over, or if it's older than the 40s or 50s? Or I don't have anything quite that old, but I was looking at some stuff, and I didn't know if you guys had any thoughts on.
I mean, you got to be careful. Because if it's an old property, Matt was looking for duplexes. He sent me one that was like 100 years old. I said, Matt, you can't buy a 100-year-old duplex. I don't know what kind of wiring is it. I mean, the problem is you got to do a lot more homework if it's an older property. That's what I send little Ben in, and he checks everything, the wiring, the plumbing. You got to worry about a lot more stuff, and when it's 100, when it's over 50 years old.
We typically try to stay at 70s.
Insurance might be more money too.
70s, 80s, 90s. When you start going beyond 70s, then you got issues with breakers. You know, because they use some of the
might have
breakers that
they might have updated
somebody
them over the
updated
years,
it, then
but
it might be all right.
I mean, you got to do your homework. You can buy old property. Shit, there's 100-year-old properties in New York that are worth billions.
70s right now is 50 years old.
I know.
So it's 2020 now. It's not when we were in 2098 when you were buying properties from that were Victorian houses that were built in the 20s. Yeah, that was. That was 30 years ago.
I mean, you can look at older properties, but it depends on what has been done to those older properties. You want to do a permit search on them and see if any major work was done to them. You want to check out the wiring. You want to check out the plumbing. You want to check out the foundations. I mean, you got to do more homework on an older property. The windows,
right.
the AC systems, the heating systems. You got to really check it really, really thoroughly when it's an older property and make sure it's going to operate well enough or somebody already put money into it to extend its lifespan.
Right, exactly. Now, when you guys are looking at older stuff, do you do like a 1% rule? Like if you're buying something for $1 million, do you even not even look at it unless it's producing at least $10,000 a month or whatever 1% of the gross purchase price?
I mean, it depends. Whatever we buy, we're looking at how much money it's going to bring in,
right, exactly,
and how much money it's going to cost to run it, and then what's left. I mean, it's all about cash flow when you're buying income properties. That's the biggest priority. How much money are we going to make off of it every month?
Right. Most of the stuff I've been buying, like I said, I've been right above like 20-25% cash on cash. I have a couple in the one or two that's in the 30s. So
that's great.
I've done quite well with that with my cash flow, which I've been happy with, working hard to find. And my other question I had was, as far as like your loans, are you able to get 30-year AM loans commercial with around a 4 or under a 4? Because some of the stuff I have 1 or 2 commercial, and it's hard to get them to stretch it to 30. They like to say 15, 20.
No. Have you ever looked at a Fannie or Freddie if you're keeping them long term?
Yeah. I have a lot of Fannie and Freddie, but they're conventional 30-year AMs. They're not.
Well, there you go. They're 30s. You want 30, right? You can get 40 if it's a big enough project. I mean, who you working with? Mortgage brokers or directly with the banks?
Both. I have like a bunch of lenders that I've developed
there you go.
with that I can kind of
make them compete against each other. That's what I do. I put a deal out there, and I'll piss them off sometimes. I'll even include them all in the same email.
I've seen them do
and
it.
I'll send my one deal to 5 different. I'll say, send me your best offer, and they give me their best offer, and you got to just put it out there and see who's going to give you the best deal. Sounds like you know what you're doing, and you need to keep doing what you're doing, and just keep trying to grow. But get relationships with the sales brokers because they're the ones that get the deals first. You want to
get. That's right. Are the stuff you guys buy on or off the market? Typically?
Everything 99.9% of everything we buy is on the market, ready to be sold by a broker because that's what he does for a living. And if people want to sell, they're going to put that shit on the market. All that off-market shit, it goes on, but I can't wait around. I need to buy something now. I'm going to the brokers. I'm checking what all the brokers are sitting on. They may want to keep it within their own company, where they don't put it out there on a loop net or nothing. That's why you have to be in touch with every different brokerage firm because they have their own basket of assets that they're always selling. So you need to hang out with those guys. Ben went out to what? You had drinks with them the other night?
Yeah, I went out to Maggiano's the other day with Franklin Street.
You got to get friendly with these guys. They hang out, get to know whatever. And
you got to go to all the local events.
So when the deals pop up, you're the first guy that they think about calling.
Right. Now, are you guys putting down, 25%, like 75, 25 LTV?
It depends.
That's kind of what I've been doing.
It depends. We're pretty, we're pretty well liked by a lot of banks. So it depends on the type of real estate. But typically, we only got to put 20% down, and I think you only have to do it Fannie and Freddie also. So, all right. Well, good luck to you. It sounds like you're doing great. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Up.
Hey, try to get like
Thank you so much, Ben. You guys are an inspiration. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Sounds great. You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Just to the
Anybody
last caller,
else?
you
That
got
was
it.
it?
I think you got a couple more people.
You got
He's
more
got a bunch of people.
More call
The
up.
last guy, that's how you started. You had a bunch of duplexes, and then you bought a 10-plex, and then you bought, a 20 and 30 and 40 and 50.
Like playing Monopoly.
I mean, that's what you got to do. That for the last caller, you got to keep doing that. Maybe sell off 5 of those and try to find a building that's 10, units, and then do it that way, and then grow. And that's the game.
What do you got? Up, it's ringing.
Hello.
Hey, it's Ben. How are you?
Hey, Ben, this is Brooklyn Mike, buddy. I'm
Oh,
calling in live.
God, who the hell got this guy on the phone?
No, don't waste our time with you. People who have questions, they're
real
trying
people.
to do something with their lives.
And you can't even rent a 1,200 square foot space I
Your
gave you. I
biggest-
asked you to rent it.
All you
Where's
do
my
are-
phone
All he
store?
does is worry about where he's going to eat lunch every day
He
and
asked
where
me
he's
where
going
we're
to eat
going
dinner.
for dinner.
That's all he cares about. You know, that's
Text
his
me
life.
where we're going for dinner.
Spends $10,000 a month eating out with just him and his girlfriend. You know, with the bottles of wine. He's a big shot. Come on, we ain't got time for you.
Next caller.
And tomorrow he's got me meeting the amusement guy
I
at
know.
John's Pass
Wait.
because we're going to start an arcade. You know, but we don't see him digging out of his pocket. And he ain't going to work a day in his life. I don't think he's ever worked a day in his life.
I got to go meet with the city tomorrow
Oh, good, Betty. For what?
about getting our boat over there. The
The
trolley
duck
boat.
boat? The trolley
duck
boat. You got to meet with the city?
I need to get a
You going
connection.
with
Hey,
the
Mike, I
captain?
need a guy.
Oh, shit.
I'm coming with you.
Wait. I don't understand. Why isn't the captain doing it?
The captain
It's
is
his
doing it,
business.
but yeah, it is his business. But he's been getting a little bit of flack from the city, so we need to maybe bring in some owner involvement and make sure that the city knows that we're 100% behind him, and make sure everybody massage the city and make sure that they know that
So what do
John's
we got to
Pass.
do? We got to call. Well, what's his name wants a donation. So this is what you got to do.
Wait.
I'm not kidding. You got to
here we
go.
go.
How much do we got to pay those councilmen that are running for office? It's
500
a
each. We gotta give
donation.
them
There's
an
nothing
envelope.
illegal about it. How much?
500 each.
All right. So tomorrow you got to write checks and you got to
Make
give them. No,
donations.
you got to give them to the Italian guy. What's his name? Don't
I
say
know,
his
don't
name
s-
over there.
You
Lying.
guys,
Okay.
wait. Next
Listen.
caller. You guys are
Listen,
too
I'm
much.
telling you what to do.
Yes, sir.
He raises money for guys running for whatever. So listen, you got to go to his buddy, his guy that we already know, and you got to say, here's write him the checks. Here's I'm donating to the guy's
Right.
campaign, and then you got to get him to get you in the office at the city like we
With
did
the right
before.
person, right.
With the same person to say, hey, this is what we want to do. What's the problem here?
Right.
We're trying to create business and tourism here. So that's your
I'll
mission for
deliver the
tomorrow.
envelope. I'll do
And I'll
that.
be there. I'll be.
Well, it might not happen tomorrow. The guy said that he was going to have a meeting, but they said that
When?
he wanted him to pay for a meeting.
Yeah. You got to
You have to pay for the meeting.
How much? $100.
$50,
It's
$175.
a poor little town.
I
so
know.
they got
I
money.
never heard about that
All
before.
right, so you go to the meeting, set it up,
Set
pay
it up.
for it. It's gonna be a nice guy that was an old. What was he? A detective from the police or something?
Yeah.
Remember we met with him?
I
He was
remember,
a great
yeah.
guy.
No, I know he was a great guy. That's what
Sit
I'm
down
saying.
with the city,
That's
give him
why
that
I
$50
told-
and say, listen, we got a great thing with John's Pass. We're gonna put a duck boat in. It was there before, a long
And that's
time
why
ago.
I told the guy, let me go with
You
you
go
because
with
he
him.
was
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
flack.
yeah,
I said,
no,
let
no,
me
no,
go
you
with
go with
you.
him.
Let
You
me
go with him.
help
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Okay,
Let
all
me
right.
go down.
All right, Mike. What
All
else
right,
you
Mike,
want?
we got-
We got
we got
people who
calls.
need help with real estate. You done now?
I'm done now. I'll
All
see
right.
you guys later.
Go drink your wine and eat your spaghetti.
SpaghettiOs.
I found out why his
Don't do it. Be
Can't say it
careful. Be
online.
careful.
why his head is shaped the way it is.
They put him in a vice?
No, Aaron's sitting here. I can't say what Aaron's
You
sitting
pop
here.
my
Mother will
eyes
kill
out.
me.
Give me the video about
All
it.
right, I'll tell you later.
Johnny D.
All right, what do you got? You got a real caller, not some Mama Luke sitting around with smoking a cigar. And what do you got? Nothing.
He's calling. He's
He's
calling.
calling.
Give him a second.
You need a better phone service.
We got Google Voice.
We got Metro.
We got Google Voice. It's cheaper than
The only
Metro.
person I know
It's
runs
free.
a whole office off of Metro. He gives everybody a cell phone for $20 a month. Runs a whole office.
Hey, it works, you know?
Hello, hi. How are you? It's Ben. How are you?
What's up, Ben? Man, thanks for calling.
Thanks for listening. What can we do for you?
Hey, I was just wondering, man. Eventually, I'm gonna get anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million inheritance, and I was wondering, what you suggest to do with it. Whether play it safe and put it in the stock market, or try to flip some houses. I'm not really.
Can I
big into
ask a
real
question
estate.
real quick before you
careful
say
what
that?
you
I just
say.
want to know, what did your family do
They
to
didn't
make all
inherit it
that
yet.
money?
Oh,
My dad just worked hard his whole life. He's actually in real estate, but he's in commercial real estate.
Then you need
did
to.
what do you want to do?
office
What are you trying to do?
Well, right now I'm actually an aircraft mechanic. That was brought my next question. I wanted to ask you about your airplane, but I just want to.
I love
want
my
to
new
not
airplane.
work hard and have a lot of money. That's what I want to do.
Well, I mean, hey, what about the aircraft business? Can you open up a hangar? Store
Yeah, but I'm
planes?
saying
that'd be
if your family's in commercial real estate, if your family's in commercial real estate, then you have somebody that was successful and somebody that you can learn from. And if he was able to amass $500,000 to $1 million
He wasn't that
bucks,
successful.
well, I'm not saying, but it's still, it's a start. It's
All right,
a
so
start.
what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And then you're waiting for inheritance? Is that your big lottery ticket?
No, that was really just I wanted
Should be
to put
ashamed
something
of
on there.
yourself. Waiting for your parents to expire? Is that what you're doing? Or are they going to gift it to you? You should be ashamed
I
of
could
yourself.
ask you,
You know?
hey, what should I do with $10,000? I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say go out there
Oh,
and
fly an
get a
airplane.
deal and
All right, so, I mean, you're an airplane mechanic?
yes, sir.
Who do you work for a company?
I work for the same people that make your airplane tech truck.
Ooh, who makes mine? I thought my people were out of business.
Well, yours.
Which one?
You got a Premier, right?
Yeah, I got a Premier, but it's called
Premier,
Watercraft.
Beechcraft.
Beechcraft.
Premier Beechcraft.
That's the Jeep.
They got
Watercraft.
bought out. They got bought
Beechcraft.
out by
One.
It looks like a Dixie cup. It's like a little Dixie
It's
cup
like a
plane.
Winn-Dixie cup
But it's cool as shit.
I know
with a
what
big belly.
Yeah, it's got a big
I
belly
know
like
exactly
me.
what kind of plane you have.
Yeah, it's really cool, and we stole it. I mean, so
You have any problems with it?
no, we had to do something to where it couldn't go. We had to put a part in so it can go over 40. It was 48,000 feet or something. I don't know. Anyway, the guy that runs my plane is an expert, great guy.
Yeah,
Plane's in great
48,
shape,
38.
and it's cool.
Where do you take it for?
What?
Where do you take it to for maintenance?
I got a guy that handles all that shit right here in Clearwater. He runs about half a dozen or more planes for people, and he's on top of everything. This guy's an expert pilot, everything. So
What? Back
We're
to the
good.
question. He's got
All right.
$500,000.
So what do you? Well, he ain't got the
he's
$500,000
gonna get
yet.
$500,000. Hypothetically,
When are you gonna get the $500,000? Is
tomorrow he's gonna whack his
Bullshit.
father.
Oh,
Okay,
that's-
No
he's
idea.
gone. All right. So theoretically, he has $500,000
That's what you would do.
No, I don't.
Thank God I made enough money.
I work now instead of waiting to inherit, and I rather
so
work for it
I don't
now.
know. I mean, what can you do? I mean, your father won't loan you no money, right? Or go in with you.
He might help me out if I had a.
Well,
if I had a
you gotta
solid
find a
plan.
deal. Find a deal, man. What about? Is there any? I mean, what area are you in?
I live in Wichita right now. My family's from Atlanta. My brother's doing commercial real estate as well in Atlanta right now.
I mean, if your brother's doing good, it's all about finding a deal. You'll raise the money. I mean, either your father will help you, your brother will help you, but you got to get in. Finding a deal. There's plenty of money out there. If you know people, but it's finding a deal and finding what kind of real estate you want to be in, and you're going to be successful in. Airplane,
working hard.
Airplane, real estate.
I mean, you could start an airplane business where you lease out planes to people. You buy a plane, and you lease it out to people. And
Are you a pilot too?
No,
mechanic,
I
and
could
that's a
become
lot
one.
of the a lot of the cost.
If you're a mechanic, you should definitely become a pilot. I mean, that's like, like working on a car, but you don't drive cars. Come on,
Right.
Get your pilot's license, man, and then you'll meet all kinds of other big shots, and you'll have plenty of money to borrow from. But I mean, you got to find a deal.
You ever done any international real estate?
Never. Can't tempt everyone out of the country. You can never tempt everyone out of the country. But good luck to you. Get with your dad, get with your brother, and find a deal and start looking, and maybe they'll back you up, and the whole family can make money together.
Hey, man, I just appreciate you calling.
Hey, thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good care. All right, you got anybody else? Okay, let's do it.
It's a lot of people out there.
For money. Well, waiting for money. Aaron's waiting for money. Hello, how are you? It's Ben. How can we help you?
Hey, Ben. Good to see you. Nice
I
to meet
can't
you.
see you, but good to hear you.
Well, he can see
I
you.
can see you. Oh,
He
yeah,
can
but
see
I
you.
can't see him.
That's
I
right.
can see
He
you.
said
Not
good to
fair. He can see
you.
me, but I can't see him.
FaceTime
Can we do
him.
it? Can we do it so I can see them too?
FaceTime him.
Oh, we're not that big shot yet in technology. How can we help you today?
Well, I bought a motel. You inspired me, and I bought a motel.
Oh, shit. Don't blame me, goddammit. Don't friggin' blame me because you bought a Roach Motel. Did he say Roach Motel?
I don't think he said Roach.
$130,000.
Oh, that's pretty good.
How many rooms?
24.
Not bad.
24 for 130. Aaron, you got to get
It's
you a
not bad.
calculator.
I got it.
It's not bad.
Right here.
How much? 130,000 divided by 24.
100,000 would be
$5,416 a
$5,400.
Where the hell did you buy that at? But Bismarck.
In Kentucky. It's in the middle of. Actually, it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's off I-75. It's not a bad place.
Is
but,
it livable or is it empty? Is it closed up?
It recently closed. They closed it about July, and so the electrical's fairly new to all the air conditioning. I need to upgrade a little bit, but it's basically a little drywall, a little paint, and get the units back up and operating. And so it's not all that bad.
So you got to fix that sucker up and put a brand new sign on it. What's the name? I mean, you're going to change the name and try to give it a whole new thing, new appearance,
Yes,
new everything.
My plan to do with it was to turn it, instead of doing a motel, is to do all Airbnb with it, so it's remote access.
You don't have no
and
kitchens
they
there,
do it.
right?
Is Airbnb that good in Kentucky?
I mean, you got a motel, you can do anything you want.
You can do it all.
I've got 6 other Airbnbs in the area.
Are there any
and
kitchens in them?
They rent it out really well.
Are there any kitchens in the rooms?
No, not yet. That was my question.
So you're going to put like a mini kitchen in there? You know they got those one single units you can buy online where it comes, it's a cabinet. It's got a couple of burners. It's got a space for a microwave. It's got a space for a fridge. It's got a sink. It's all built in one unit, and you can stab that sucker in there if you want, and your instant mini kitchen, but I don't know what your codes are out there or whatever, hood vents, whatever, but they got microwaves.
It's pretty loose.
They got microwaves that act as ovens.
Convection
and microwave, or you could put toaster ovens in them. I mean, yeah, if you can rent it out at B&B, whatever the hell, rent it any goddamn way you can, as long as you're not getting bad clientele. Is there any hunting going on out there?
I was thinking about
rent it out to hunters.
Expanding the units a little bit and taking them from like a single, I don't know what they are.
Then you'll be down to 12 rooms.
I've not even looked at them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but then what do you want to do? You want to combine the rooms and make them one bedrooms and make them 12? You only have 12 rooms then.
Correct. Yeah, I was going to do like 12 units and expand
It all
them out to,
depends.
like 30 days
It all
stays.
depends on what the market need is. It's about supply and demand. You need to know what the demand is so you can supply the right product. Is it single room hotels that'll make the most money there that people will keep rented? Or is it they want one bedroom apartments for what? I don't know. If it's only temporary. I mean, you got to find out who's your clientele. Any hunting going on out there?
There's lakes. There's actually the town's expanding, so there's a lot. I'm getting a lot in my other Airbnbs.
There are a lot of hunters out there. Hunters like shit like that.
I'm getting a whole lot of people that are coming in to build different things in industrial parks.
Are there any hunting going on? It's not like recreational hunting and stuff.
Hunting, lakes.
Well, there you go. You just got to. I'd fix that place up. I don't know about knocking down from 24 money-making units down to 12. You know what you can always do? Just throw a friggin' door in the middle and let them connect if you want. If you have to rent them to families or something, just throw a door in there. But I wouldn't start ripping them apart and making them. It depends. Are you going to get that much more money if you get 12? The 2 rooms that are 12 rooms, or the ones that are 24 rooms? What's going to make you the most money?
The rent would be close to the same. That's what I was looking for. 24 units is a lot of units. So
it looks good to have 24 rooms.
Right.
Let me tell you, you need 24 hotel rooms to make money because you got housekeeping. I mean, and all that shit. Your Airbnb. I mean, it sounds like you know what you're doing. You already got Airbnb, so fix the place up and just fix it up the best you can. Do some marketing if you can, and get that sucker making money. God luck. Because,
now my question is do I refi on this thing? Because I bought this thing for $130,000.
I mean, you could probably go out right now. You could probably go out right now, and based on you having other income coming in and your personal finances, it sounds like you could go to a bank right now and say, hey, I got this 24-unit motel. I want to fix it up. I want to get it looking good, and I need a loan. And they'll probably loan you money because you're only in it for $5 a key. Maybe they'll loan you another $5 a key or $10 a key. I don't know what your market is out there. You can go right now to the bank, get a loan. Don't let it have no strings attached to where you can't prepay it. Because as soon as you get that place finished and operating, you're going to want to refinance it again. So, yeah, you can keep, borrowing money as you need it to do what you got to do. Go to the bank tomorrow. If you need money, go to the bank tomorrow and say, hey, I need money to fix up this hotel. They'll either say yes, how much, or whatever, Don't hurt to ask.
Thanks for the advice.
All right.
Yeah,
Good
it
luck
sounds
to
like you got a lot of
Exactly what I was
equity in it.
looking
All right, make it
already.
a hunting place. Call it the Rifle Inn. All right, what do you got, baby?
I mean, that's the plan. I mean, you buy something for $5 a door. $5 a door, you put $5 a door into it. A hotel room, I don't care what state it in, it's got to be worth $20, $35 a door.
If you can fill the
If you
rooms.
can get it occupied, if you can show a good ADR on it or something like that. The whole thing is just to do the work, to get
Know
it
who your
occupied.
market is.
Once
Supply and
once it's
demand,
occupied,
supply and demand.
Once it's occupied and you got good financials, you can go to the bank and get the money.
Hello.
Hello, hi, it's Ben. How are you? How can we help you?
Hey, Ben, what's up? We're waiting for the call.
You're
eagerly.
waiting. Your call has now arrived.
What's going on?
So how can we help you today?
Alrighty, so I'm like a fix and flip guy. I'm on my like 18th deal, partner up with a bunch of different guys, and I would do the deal where I would get like an investor to buy the house, get a contractor to put all the money in, and I sort of would just syndicate the deal. And I was able to like scale up like crazy like that.
Well, did you make enough money to do them on your own now instead of having partners?
Not yet. I'm still only like
18 deals and you ain't got enough money to do a goddamn deal by yourself?
No, I did one by myself. And
All right, keep doing it. Because when you do them by yourself, you know what's great about that? You don't split the money with anybody. You keep it all.
I know, but I
Unfortunately, I have a new partner now.
The more investors I have,
thank
then
you.
the more I can scale.
Well, yeah,
So
the
that's-
more money you got, the more to spend. But, so it sounds great. So what's the problem?
So no problem. Now I'm just looking to get not out of the fix and flip. I'm looking to get like up the ladder. I'm trying to do a commercial deal. I'm trying to get into. I want you to say you can't make any money in multifamily. It's only in office or in retail. So I remember you once said that in a video. You're like, you can't make any money in multifamily.
Well,
There's no
but you got to know, know about the office and retail to make money in it too. It's not that easy. We're having a rough time right now.
Right. No, I looked in. So like I looked into like self storage, looked into mobile homes, and I can't find a deal. So I found a deal. It's like an old lazy boy that they went vacant. They went dark on their lease.
Single story, single building, one building,
single tenant.
Yeah,
single
building,
tenant.
16,700 square feet.
Yeah. So what are you going to do with it if you bought it? Who are you going to put in there?
No, I didn't buy it.
I'm saying if you did buy it, what the hell are you going to do with it?
So
you got to rent it, huh?
This is the plan. I put it on the contract, and now I'm trying to find a tenant. So I hooked up with some big shop brokers in that area. It's like near Philly. It's in Jersey, but it's like near Philly. So it's a pretty busy corridor. Let's say like 30,000 vehicles a day. I'm looking for like a Dollar General. Looking for a Family Dollar or maybe a gym to go in there. Like what you say, like it's got to be Amazon proof, and so that's the plan. So if I pick it up, they want like 1.7 for it. So what I do, I got it on the contract, and now the plan is during the due diligence, I gave myself like a 90-day due diligence period. During the due diligence, I'm going to try to find a tenant and lock it up, or at least get like an LOI or something. Where that
all right, let's say you get the LOI from the tenant. Let's say you score big, you find a tenant, you're able to get an LOI out of the tenant, and you're able to close that deal?
Yeah, I could, I have a contact that like I could put the money together.
Well, then sounds like you got a great plan. You just got to find a tenant to get in there. You might want to think about this.
Right. So
you might want to think about, if you have to, tell whoever's out there looking for tenants for you. And I don't know what the construction costs are because Ben just had to do it. He had to take a space and split it down the middle, because he couldn't rent the whole goddamn thing. So you might want to consider, you can split that space up. It's possible and have more than one tenant.
Because 16,000 is like
that's a big space. You might find a small, I don't know the area, but you might find a small grocer, maybe a boutique style. I don't know what the area's like.
Like a Trader Joe's would be like.
Oh shit! You did a fucking home run. Right now, I would pay Trader Joe's to come in my shopping plaza. Are we working on that?
To
get Trader Joe's in our shopping plaza?
I haven't heard anything about Trader Joe's.
You work in the same office with Mike. He's telling me all the time.
Mike says anyway.
All right. Anyway, if you can score, listen, you can either think about you need to get that sucker rented and buy the place and do great. That's great.
Right. So here's my question. Let's say I get the LOI, but they didn't commit. Let's say they don't go hard. I mean, they say, yeah, we're interested. So after my 90 days, this is how I structure the deal. After my 90 days, I have to go 10 grand hard. Okay. And my investors, they said that they are not. My investors were like, we're not losing any money. I have a guy. He's like, I'll post up the deposit for you. They want like 125K down deposit. So I have someone taking care of that. But he's like, you can't. I'm not losing any money on this.
Well, you got to play it as it comes. I mean, if you get a short tenant or you have several tenants that you could put in there. I mean, how many investors you got? How many investors you got?
I'm not. Right now I only have one guy post. That said he's going to post up the deposit for the 125K. So that's all.
I mean, unless you're willing to risk. Listen, the more risk, the more reward. Are you willing? You got 10 grand to risk yourself?
Do I have 10 grand to risk myself? My wife will kill me if I lose 10
Well,
grand.
there you
but,
go. Well, it's on
you
you.
know, but,
Only you know
listen.
whether you can make this deal happen and find a tenant. So I don't know. But you're talking about getting a big loan on it too. How are you gonna get that big fat loan? These people want $1 million. They want $100 a square foot. You said like $1.7 million, right?
1.7. Yeah.
So how are you gonna come up with $1.7
How am I gonna
million?
get the loan? Because once I have the tenant, I think I have the connections that will get a strong sponsor, and they'll loan against that sponsor. You know what I mean?
You better make sure all this
it's not
shit
gonna
while
be-
you're in contract.
I'm a schnook, but
You got a lot of, you got some work to do, and that's where you make your money. Getting out there, finding the tenant, and then somebody's gonna have to. I don't know what to say except let you score big. Before that 90 days are up. Otherwise, somebody's got to risk 10 grand to buy you more time. It's the game.
after the 90 days, it's 10 grand. I'm not going to risk the 10 grand unless I have something to, validate me risking.
And then what's the rent on a place going to be? Let's say you score a tenant tomorrow. What are you renting it for?
Greedy. I'm not even being greedy. I'm looking for like 11 or $12 a foot, which would give me a $200,000 NOI. And at a 7 cap, that will give me a valuation of like 2.85.
All right, so you're in the money. You're in the money. You're in the money. It sounds like a great plan, but you got to get out there and find that goddamn tenant right away, and then
I know.
and then
But
if
what
you
am I
really,
gonna do? I'm gonna call.
hey,
Sam,
can you do this?
What am I gonna
Hey,
do?
wait a minute.
I'm gonna
Can
call
you?
Dollar Tree and say, "Hey guys, I'm Iron Fish."
Well, you got to call
Honestly,
everybody.
yes, you do. There's an
You do.
email on every website for every company. If you dig hard enough, those are real estate section, and on there, on that company, there's an email address that you can literally email the person who's in charge of the real estate division for acquisitions for that department, and they will literally. If they're really interested, they'll email you back right away. Yes, we would take that space. Or you bug them a couple times and then they say no.
Show it to them.
But literally on every website.
Send them the contract.
No. You want to probably present it as you already own it.
Aren't you working with any agents that do leasing? You need a leasing agent right away.
I have a leasing agent. That's what I was saying before. I have a big shot leasing agent.
Well, is the big shot got anybody for you?
What? I'm sorry?
You got to get with them and say, hey, I need a tenant right away. Maybe. I don't know if you can work this out legally or not. Is it possible you can collect the 10 grand from the tenant as a deposit? I don't know. You need to speak with a lawyer about that. Is it possible you can collect the 10 grand as a deposit on your contract to lease the place? Consult with a lawyer or somebody that knows in title or, real estate rules, but
collect 10 grand from who? From
the tenant as a deposit if they want to rent the joint. Shit, maybe, I don't know, but, have them put the money in the same, put them in escrow.
Hard on my seller. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, but if they're willing to risk that 10 grand non-refundable, you're home free. If the tenant says, listen, I want that space, I'll put up a $10,000 deposit, non-refundable, and you put that money in escrow and you close the deal, and you're home free. But consult with somebody that knows the legality of collecting a deposit on a contract. It's not like you don't have any rights. It's not like you're renting out somebody's space that ain't yours. You actually have a contract on it to buy it. So, I don't know. I'm not that good in retail. I don't know.
Send the contract to the potential leasing, head of acquisitions in LA Fitness. Should I send the actual contract when I say, hey, what's up, guys? I have this property.
Me personally, I wouldn't.
Or work with the seller. Work with the seller and say, listen, seller, I set up this tenant that's going to help me get the loan, help me close the deal. The seller wants that goddamn $1.7 million, and so maybe the seller will work with you.
Well, that I'm fishing. The seller knows good and well that I'm fishing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
maybe the seller will work with you. The seller only cares about that $1.7 million they're going to get. If you're the ticket to them getting it, they'll work with you.
They're not helping me find the tenant.
They're not going to help you find the tenant, but if you bring one to the table, they may play ball with you. But, good luck to you. You got to find a tenant. You got to raise the money. I mean, you know what you're doing.
Last question. What about self-storage? How come you're not going after self-storage?
Self-storage was great, but I missed the boat. And self-storage is all about supply and demand. You got to put it in areas that are overpopulated where people need storage. The ones out in the boondocks, I don't like them. And then I missed the boat. They overbuilt self-storage. We overbuild everything when it works. But I know guys
What's
that
the
did
next
really
thing?
well.
What's the next thing, Ben? What's
I don't know.
What's around the curve? What's
Right
around the
now,
curve,
we got to convert all that retail into stuff that the internet can't hurt. That's the only game I see in town right now. Everything else is way too expensive. People are working from home. Office buildings are really hurting to me right now. Industrial, I don't really know. But right now I'd say.
What about developing?
Well, ground up
developing
construction. I'm not that smart, and it's a whole nother ball of wax. Building something new is great if you can make it make sense. I don't see what have any profit. Cost them a fortune to buy the land, go through all the soft costs, build the freaking building. By the time you're done with the cost of building today, you ain't made no damn money. So, hey, good luck to you.
All the best, Ben. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
guys.
You got any more callers?
Thank you.
Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing.
Oh, there's some people that want to know some things on
Oh,
here.
yeah? What do they want to know? You tell me
They
what
wanna
wanna
know.
and I'll tell them what they know and what I know.
They want to know what's the website you used to buy real estate on where you were bidding.
10X is where I bid on John's
John's
Pass.
Pass. I knew. I just wanted you to say.
10X is not the one that Grant Cardone has.
No, 10x.com. Look it up. Google it. It's
real
on
estate
there.
Auction.
CREX.
You can Google it.
CREX.com.
That's another
also.
one. CREX. You can Google commercial auctions, and all kinds may come up. Who knows? You might find a small auction company in your area. I see them all the time here in this area that do small deals. Or you go, but you need an agent. Find an agent, man. Agents are out there selling real estate every goddamn day. That's what they do for a living. And, look on the MLS. I mean, they have access to the MLS. You need an agent. Go to LoopNet. Go to, Google it. They're everywhere. Find them.
There's tons of websites, you guys, out there. You got to just Google them.
commercial properties for sale. Find the big shot brokers. And then go to their website and search through their data of what they got for sale. That's what I do. I go to every single broker and look at their website and see what's available under listings. All right.
Hello, can I help you?
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, this is Ben.
This Mario Pizzeria. We're looking for a large pizza with extra cheese and sausage.
Well, you called the right guy. Thank you very much
right.
for taking my phone call.
Thank you. How are you today? Good.
I'm very good. I bought 20 single-family homes during 2008, 2009, 2010, like for $20,000.
You're the man.
And they're renting out.
You hit the jackpot.
I got lucky. I wish I'd have bought 50, but
yeah, we all say
that.
Yeah,
I was lucky to get that. So my question is, they bring in $1,200 a month, $1,300 a month each one, and you talk about doing that 1031 exchange. I just wonder what's your formula for selling them, because right now they bring in that kind of money, and it's good money, but I hear you say you should build up and do more things.
Yeah, but what's your NOI? What do you put in your pocket every month?
Some of them are like 20. Some of them are very high. Some of them are 30% almost. Some of them are 40.
So
some of them are like
the point
15.
is it possible? You got to sit down with a calculator. Is it possible that if you pulled some money out of them, right, and kept them, are you still cash flowing good? And now you got a big chunk of money to go out there and buy something with. Then you got what they call cake and eat it too.
Yeah, that's my question. How do you pull them out with the? I mean, it seems like when I went to get them, I had to pretty much promise everything. And her brother, I had to get one loan. I had to put 2 houses up because they were,
you can cross collateralize all of them. How many you got? 10 of them?
I got 20.
20. You go to a bank and say, here, give me a freaking package, nice fat loan. See, the banks want to loan you as much money as possible. Package those suckers together, get the biggest loan you can that gives you the best weight on terms and stuff, but package them together, cross-collateralize them all. If you ever decide to sell them, make sure there's a clause in there, what they call a release clause, that you can always, for X amount of dollars, sell one off. But, package them all together, pay off any existing debt you got, put some money in the bank. It's tax-free right now if you borrow money, and then try to find a deal in something and still have the cash flow.
That's
then you don't have to worry about 1031.
The thing I'm looking for is called the release clause, you said?
Well, what happens is if you go to a bank, let's say you go to a bank, I'd go to a bigger bank too. If you got 20 damn houses, sizable enough to go to a big bank.
I'm with Huntington Bank up here in Grand Rapids.
All right, so sit down with Huntington Bank and say, here's my 20 houses. How much you want to give me? Let them appraise it, whatever. Find out what's the most loan they'll give you with the best terms. and then go to another bank and see if you get better terms. But, package them together, get as much cash as you can at the lowest rate possible. Rates are really low right now.
And then just hang on to that money until you find something bigger.
Yeah. I mean, at least you got the money, so this way, if you find a deal, you got the money to jump on it. You don't want to be out there looking for deals, and you got to wait to sell a house and all that shit, and then you got to worry about 1031, and you know how hard it is to 1031 small properties? It's too much. You want to try to refinance if they'll still have cash flow, so you still got money coming in. Then you'll have money coming in, money in the bank,
very well.
Money in the you'll still have cash flow, half the cash flow, and you'll have a higher mortgage, but you'll have money in the bank, less cash flow, money in the bank. Find the next deal. I mean, that's how I grew. I didn't always sell right away. I kept stuff to pay my bills, and I just pulled money out of them. All right.
Yeah, I have some of that problem where you fall. What do you call that when you hang on to something when you shouldn't? Well,
it depends on the property. If you got a $20,000 house, how much can you sell it for right now?
All of them are well over 125, 150,000 each.
Well, you might be able to go to the bank and just borrow $100,000 off each house, and then you'll have $2 million. And then you'll still have cash flow coming from the houses because that $100,000, on a house is only going to cost you, $33,000 a year.
Right.
Sit down with a calculator and figure out how much you would get if you mortgaged them all, kept them, how much the cash flow is, and how much you can borrow. But, I don't know. If you want to sell, but if you can keep them and still cash flow and pull just as much money out.
Still do cash flow, that's the way to go.
There you go.
I'll never be that low again.
You don't need to sell them, because if you sell them, it's going to put you in a tax situation you don't want to be in. It's too hard to 1031 20 different damn properties. And you got time frames involved. Go to the bank, package them together, get a big fat loan on them, run them, keep the cash flow coming, have a big chunk of money in the bank to go find the next deal.
Well, thank you very much, Ben. I appreciate you and your son.
Hey, great. Thanks for calling.
You
we
and Ben
appreciate
Jr.
it.
Hey, what's the clause I'm looking for? A release clause?
Yeah, well, when you get that loan and package stuff together, it's called, it's what you can call, cross collateralization, all the properties together in one loan. It's called a release clause. They'll know what you're talking about. You make sure that, you tell them, listen, if I ever want to sell one of these properties, I want each one of these properties to have a number on it that I can pay you off to get them out of the picture. Perfect. Okay? So if you did want to sell one chunk, much. Yeah, very good. Good luck to you.
You bet. Thanks again. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye.
Do you want to call Meet Kevin? Is Kevin the guy that came to my house, or is he somebody else?
I don't know. Is that?
No, I've seen him. He's on
Kevin
YouTube.
Keeps asking you. Meet Kevin's another YouTube guy. He keeps asking.
He's really good.
He's in it to make money on YouTube. He's a nice guy, I'm sure. It's great if he wants to, fine. But I'm here to help people. And Meet Kevin already knows what the hell he's doing. He's making money, and him chewing off of me. Listen, Meet Kevin. You want to meet somebody? Go to a friggin' bar. I'm just kidding. I don't care. Put him on the line, but he's a great guy, I'm sure.
I've seen his videos. He's really good.
Yeah, great.
He's good.
He just okay, because the chat is going on, and he just.
Oh, but is he available? Is he?
Yeah, no, he's texting on the chat.
All right, fine. Get him on the line. Let's meet Kevin. He's not the who's the little.
You've called him before.
Who's the little short guy that came? Who's the midget that came to my house?
You've talked to him twice before.
Does anybody know the midget? Who's the midget that came to my house?
Graham Stephan.
Graham Stephan.
Oh, Graham Stephan. No,
nice
guy. No, he's a good guy. I didn't
4 feet tall. And he came with a girl that was like 6 feet tall. It was hilarious.
But he did a great video. That was a good video.
Oh yeah, made him a lot of money too. These guys are making money off YouTube.
Here.
I'm not here to make money off YouTube.
Look, I know.
But
that's it.
That's it. Hey, Meet Kevin. Hey, how are you, Marvin? Very nice. Yeah, he's big.
Are you gonna call him or
he's
no?
a YouTuber. But what is he doing? How he bought a $2 million house for $3,000. Great.
All right, I'm just saying because I'm reading the thing because he wanted to call.
All right, well,
Ben ate Kevin. Somebody wrote Ben ate Kevin.
That's disgusting.
You don't want to know the stuff that they're writing on here. I don't want to say.
They don't like it. I don't want
know.
All perverts hang up.
They're saying some
All
stuff.
right, what do you got?
Ben, when we come in to look at snowmobiles in Florida, I'll come fly over. Everybody wants it.
Who is this?
It's Kevin.
Kevin, nice to meet you. This is Ben Jr. I've never talked to you before.
Kevin, how tall are you?
Hey, Junior.
How tall are you?
5'9". Yeah.
Oh, he's not no midget. Like the other guy was a midget. What was his name?
Graham Stephan.
Graham Stephan. Yeah, nice little midget guy. So how are you today? What's up?
Well, I'm sitting on a plane, just landed and saw your stream. And of course, what do I-
Sitting on a plane.
Was he coming to Florida? Where are you coming? Or going?
Right now in Vegas.
Vegas. He's in Vegas.
High roller in Vegas, baby.
Where you staying?
That's where the market gets killed first. Vegas always gets hit
I
first.
haven't figured that out yet. This morning I was in San Francisco, and did you know one of those pink ladies is for sale? I went to go look at that.
The Pink Ladies for sale in San Francisco.
What is that, a
You know,
whorehouse?
I don't want to know.
Postcard. It's the houses on the road.
I
the
ain't
intro
buying
to
nowhere
Philadelphia.
called the Pink Lady. Sounds like a hooker bar.
Is it like old Victorian style houses? They call them the Pink Ladies or something like that.
The day I left
I
California,
remember.
The day I left California and the day I left San Francisco was the best day of my life, okay? I want no part of California. I served 18 years in that friggin' liberal prison, and I got out. I did my time. I'm living in Florida. But good blood, God
Here's a
bless
question
you.
for you.
Yeah.
Idaho multifamily real estate, high cap rate, and low per unit price, but it's Idaho. You got weather. What do you think?
I mean, it's all about numbers. Is there enough supply, enough demand, and does it have good cash flow? I mean, if you have empty apartments, can you fill them, and how much can you get, and what's your profit? I mean, it's all about the
College
bottom
town,
line,
right?
baby. College town. If you got enough students and they need housing, it's great. Rent it by the bed, you can make a fortune.
Yeah.
You know, we did in Tampa.
Anytime you're in a college town, you want to look at I mean, I shouldn't have to tell you, Kevin, but you always want to look at the demographics of the college itself. You want to see how many students are going there, how many people are enrolling annually, how many people are dropping out, how many houses that they have on campus for the students. So that way you know if there's going to be demand for
Is there a
student
demand for
housing.
student housing around the university? Simple.
Yeah, but it's simple.
You
but
know,
how to
and
get to
if
that.
there is, or if you think you could do it cheaper than what the people are renting them for, that's the why we were successful, because our rents were like $100 a room, less than the other competition, and we did good. So go if you got a market, you got an audience.
What about this? What do you do if over there it's almost all Mormon? What if you're not Mormon? You're gonna get discriminated against as an investor? You think?
I don't know a damn thing about Idaho. That's where the potatoes are. And Mormons, the only thing I think if a guy has to have more than one wife, he's nuts, because I can't even handle one. So I don't know. I don't know about religion. I don't like to get mixed up with religion because to me it's not logical. These people and their ways and following other people. I don't know. But you better be careful because you might end up, I don't know. You be careful with those
potato
Mormons.
field.
Wait, wasn't the what was that famous family that were Mormon? They're all singers before you guys' time. You don't know they competed with the Michael John anyway.
No.
Whatever.
Don't know.
Osmond. The Osmond family. The Osmond family.
Osmond?
Oh, but Mormons
I know
like
the
to have a lot of
Oswalds.
kids, so maybe you can rent big houses to them.
There you go. Last question for you, Ben, and then I got to get off this plane.
Get off the plane. Who you on?
All right,
You're on your
well,
own plane or you're on Delta?
I'll save the answer. So, question for you. What do you think if I came to Florida and filmed some houses with you?
I don't really do houses because,
Or
right now,
multifamily. Let's see what you're doing. Let's show it off from
right
my
now,
perspective
let me
of
tell
what
you
you're
something.
doing.
Right now, I can't find a deal to save my life. We just luckily got a tax credit deal, 240 units, and we're overpaying for that. Multifamily, I'm waiting for it to come down. I'm sitting on the sidelines. There's the market's just too high right now. There's always going to be a little shitty fixer-upper I can help people try to find, like my guy Matt here, but there's no money in multi right now. The cap rate is stupid. There's no such thing as a cap rate in multifamily. It's make-believe. And so we're doing some retail right now, and I'm planning my retirement, looking for less management. And we're selling hotels. All right, good luck to you. I hope you find a jackpot in Vegas.
Put it all on black.
All right, take care.
Thanks.
That's what I always do. I always
Bye-bye.
put it on black.
You got
And I always
anybody-
win
Any more
at
calls?
the roulette table.
Everything
I
at
walk up to
school
it.
tomorrow.
I
What
always
time
go to
is it?
Vegas. I walk up. I take $100 and I put it on black.
And
As
you-
soon as I get there,
How many times?
I always win. I always win. The first time, the second and third time, I might lose, but the first time I always win. I've only done it 3 times. But I don't go to Vegas a lot either.
This is Ryan Snyder.
Hey Ryan, how are you today? It's Ben. How can we help you?
Hey, Ben. It's good. Good to meet you. And Ben Jr. as well.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, so just to cut right to the chase, I'm in Belding, Michigan, small little podunk town, about 5,000 people. And the surrounding area is pretty much not even touched as far as I'm starting a music store, accessory-based music store. And I've looked at renting and buying the store space. I've done all the logistics and everything, and I want to get probably about 300 to 400 square feet is probably my max to get the most dollar per square foot that I can. If I go anywhere above and beyond that, I'm too capital intensive.
All right,
so my thought was,
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't want to fall too far behind. You're opening up a business?
Music store, yep.
A music store.
Like
what does
Sam
that
Ash.
mean? Instruments, CDs,
So
I
it's
don't
gonna be
know.
it's gonna be accessory based only. I'm not gonna have any drum sets. I'm not gonna have any guitar singing on the walls. It's gonna be only accessories, guitar picks, chords, cables, drumsticks, all the above.
All right.
All right, so is there a market? Are you going to make money doing that? Yeah, how many people out of 5,000 are playing instruments? And is there
the spoons?
So we have. I did the math, and we have a total of 4 music stores to accommodate about 250,000 to 300,000 people, and most of them are only focused on the bands, as far as school bands. Mostly.
All right, so you're comfortable with the business you're opening up. So what's the real estate part of it?
The real estate part of it is for me is my question is should I I buy the space and then utilize that space to rent out to other people if I'm not using the space, every other space, because I have a space I'm looking at right now that has actually 2 other units attached to it, so I could actually rent out 2 other spaces. I actually don't need that space. I was going to use it for comedy nights or whatever else, or actually rent them out full time to people. Or should I rent a space and not deal with the rest of it and just be a tenant and make as much money as I can in that space?
I mean, if you know that you can rent those other spaces out and generate more income, then that's common sense. You move in, you're doing your own business there. You got other businesses there. I mean, that's great if you can do it. If you're sure that you can rent those spaces out or make money somehow on them, whether you're doing it or you're renting it to somebody doing it, that's great. So what's up?
So the biggest portion of that, the place that I'm looking at, they're asking $125,000 with a really cheap price for the space. It's over 3,600 square feet total for the space, and I don't have the upfront capital to put the down payment down and all that stuff. And so it was either that I went to friends and family and asked for that amount of money, or I went to, just work my butt off until I actually got that amount to get that done, pay for the down payment for that building, or, rent for a couple of years. And then if I have that money then buy the building. It's kind of one of those buying real estate
Let me
here
ask you
is
this.
actually
Is
really
any
cheap.
part of that space residential?
No, it's all commercial.
It's all commercial. So, and how are you going to come up with $100 a quarter? If you talk to a bank and you get approved for a loan, you know how much money you need down? I mean, what's the story?
They're asking for 10% down, and they're saying for a 7.5% interest, 7.5%.
Is that the bank or is it the owner giving you that?
That would be the owner. The owner would be a land contract.
The owner. I mean, and you don't have the 10% down, right?
Correct. I don't have the 12.5 now.
And you can't raise it. So I don't know what to say. I mean, unless the owner's willing to take a ride on you and take less. You're paying him a nice fucking interest rate, pardon my language. You're paying him, how did you say, 7%?
Yeah.
How about you do this?
7.5.
How about you do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you lease it with an option to purchase? Get in that one little space and start making some money, and then maybe lease the whole place from them, or will he lease you just that one space you need to operate your business out of?
Yes. So she said. So this is what she said to me is that she's wanting to sell it. I've been in the business before where I've actually had multiple units that I've already rented out to people, and I've been able to do $3,000, $4,000 a month, no problem with spending very little. My whole thing is that, and I've also been a part of a church where we had 8 other congregations in the church, and we utilized that space to its max degree. So I told her I know how to do that. If she would make me the ability to, bring the tenants in, and then I
How
would
much
be able
would
to
she
utilize
charge
the
you to
space.
lease the whole place? Tell her to lease it to you. Give you a I don't know, a 1-year lease with an option to purchase at the end of that 1 year or something. And see if within the next year you can get your business going. You can rent the space out. You can sublease out the space, and then raise the goddamn 10% down, or what part of your money every month out of the lease can go towards the down payment. How much?
Right.
How much you want to lease the whole place for you to? Do you know?
She said that she wants it was $1,000 per space, so it would be $3,000 a month.
I don't know. I mean, you better just rent the own. You know what you do is you can rent your own. Get a contract with her to say, listen, let me just lease this one space and get your business going, because you need that business going for your livelihood, don't you?
Right.
All right, get that business going.
We're already online.
Rent that one space. Rent that one space. Pay her $1,000 a month. Tell her to let you try to rent the other 2 spaces out, and then once you rent the other 2 spaces out, you'll go to the bank and you'll get a loan and you'll pay her off.
Because it's only gonna cost me up front with all the inventory and everything. It's only gonna cost me about $4,000 or $5,000 just to
Get your
the
business
space.
started and make some money, and then you'll save the $10,000 up within a year and buy the place.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
That's
You
good
gotta
advice.
get
Thank you, Ben.
your foot in the
Appreciate it.
door. If you ain't got the $12,000 to give her right now, lease the space, get your business going, make some money, and then play it by ear. Try to rent the other spaces out for her, or tell her when you know you got a tenant, go to her before and say, I want to lease it, and then sublease it to the tenant. You can do that. I don't know. But you
Because
probably
I've talked to her about the options of, because I know how to utilize space. I'm already doing concerts. I'm already doing comedy nights. I'm already doing all these different individual things. Where I told her I easily could make just for those one spaces alone, not for all 3. I easily could make $3,000 to $4,000 just for the one space, just on my own.
Well, start with your first space and get your business going first. Then figure out how to take down the property from the landlord. All right?
Got it.
All right, good luck to
Thank
you.
you, Ben.
Take care. You
You
got
too,
more
bye-bye.
callers? I mean, I don't mind. If you got callers, we'll call.
You got questions?
All right. I like callers.
Okay.
What do you got? Hello? How are you? You're not there. Where are you? So, what's the story? What time is it already? Holy mackerel, 8:22.
Yeah, it's late. Aaron's got school.
Aaron's
That's
got
what everybody
school
keeps saying.
tomorrow.
Everybody keeps saying Aaron's got
gotta
school in the
go to bed.
morning.
You better have your homework
There's like a bunch
done.
of people that said
I
that.
don't want to hear about Thursday. Thursday?
What's Thursday?
You're not playing basketball. You're going to golf. I signed you up for golf. Hi, how
Hello,
are you?
Ben?
It's Ben. How can we help you?
Hi, Ben. Thanks for taking the call. I had a quick question. So I'm currently a pharmacy student, and I'll be finishing school in 2 years. And I was wondering, before I get into real estate, should I first pay off my loans first, or pay off a little bit and then get into real estate, or what should I do?
You talking about your student loans?
Yeah, I'll finish with a little over 100K in student loans, and that's in 2 years. I'll start paying it off.
So when you're going to become a farm tech, right? Farm tech?
No,
Or
a
pharmacist?
pharmacy. Yeah, pharmacist.
Pharmacist. You're going to be a pharmacist in 2 years. And then don't they give you time? That's when you graduate?
Yes, in 2 years.
All right, but don't they give you time after you graduate before you have to start paying
Yeah,
student loans?
there's like a
You got like
a
4
few
years
months
to worry
grace
about.
period.
Don't you have like 4 years to worry about start making payments from now?
No, I think it's 6 months, I believe. I'm not 100% sure.
6 months. So all right, well, right now, how much is the interest rate on those student loans?
I think it's between 6 and 7, I believe. But I could also like refinance. I know that's.
I mean,
that's an
you
option.
should always be, I know that the banks are so hungry right now. There's so many people hungry for borrowing, loaning money. I think there's companies out there offering to refinance student loans at a lower rate. You should always be looking at that, because that rate, that interest is accumulating, correct?
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, if you can refinance those student loans at a lower rate, you definitely should do it. But, I mean, right now, you got to become a pharmacist, and then focus on that, and then hopefully you'll save up some money and you'll be able to buy some real estate. I mean that's just the way it works.
Okay, so I should focus on paying it off and then get into real estate.
I mean, I would never pay my debt off until I have to. You make those payments to the student loan when time comes, and that's just part of your life. You're gonna work. You're gonna have to make the student loan payments, and then try to save up money to buy real estate.
If you're talking about as far as in the eyes of the bank, will those student loans hurt you? Is that what you're asking? Because you don't really need to pay those off as long as you're making payments against them. The bank's not gonna. They know you went to school. That's what you did.
It'll have to do with his debt ratio when he goes to borrow money, because you'll have debt that'll count that as money that he has to put out every month.
As long as you calculate it
But
properly.
right now, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Listen, right now, all you got to worry about is you made a commitment to being a pharmacist. So you need to just focus on that and get that stable in your life, and then worry about real estate. Right now, just focus on your career, because that career is going to protect you for the rest of your life. And then you can start, saving money, looking into real estate, finding out how much money you can borrow based on your income or the property you find. I mean, you don't even own a home yet, do you?
No, but I'm planning in the future that if things work out, then I probably won't have a mortgage. So it'll cushion me from paying for a place to live.
Well, whatever your plan is, it's great. But the most important thing is focus on becoming a pharmacist, because you don't have any money right now to invest in real estate, right?
No.
Well, then you got to just finalize your career. Do the best you can in your career. That'll protect you, and then look into real estate once you're stable.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I have a second quick question. When you buy a property, how do you know that the value that you add to the property will sell for a premium when it goes onto the market?
Say it again.
Basically, he's asking, how do you know what value add that you put in? Like, if you buy a property, like we bought a property in Tampa, we knew that all the surrounding properties around there had granite countertops. So we knew that if we put granite countertops in that property, we can raise the rents.
And the property worth more money.
And the property worth more money. So what we do is to figure out where the best value add is we look at our competitors, we look at the competition, we
look at the market.
The market, and we find out, hey, if you got the amenities, if you need to add amenities, if you need to add washer and dryer connection, maybe you need to add granite countertops and new cabinets, whatever it is.
Anything
you need
you
to
can
find
add value to get more rent makes the place worth more money.
And you have to find what's
Hey, are you
demand.
in a big school? Are you going to a big school right now?
Yeah, it's a pretty big school. Yeah.
What state?
I'm in Maryland.
And is there a shortage? Oh, Maryland's expensive. I mean,
In Baltimore.
I am. And what do you stay in? Student housing, or you rent a room somewhere, or what do you do?
Yeah, it's student housing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Student housing is a good part of real estate to get into, but
maybe buy a house and rent it out, like buy the rooms and have some extra income.
I don't know.
I mean, that's what a lot of people
tough.
do, though. If you're in that like right now, you're in the student clique. I mean, you're going to school, you're just coming out of school, so you know people. If you were to go out and buy a house, and you could rent rooms to that house, I don't know. There's always
people do it.
People do it, right? And
people
you could
don't even buy them. Some people rent a big
them,
house,
and then that's true.
And then they rent the rooms
But
out to
you got to make
students.
sure that in your contract when you rent it that you're able to sublease it. You don't want to do anything that's illegal or can get you in trouble. So always check your lease to make sure that you could sublease it if you want to do that. But yeah, you could rent a house for $1,500 and rent 6 bedrooms and rent them out for $500 a piece. Make a little bit of money that way.
When you guys were renting out to students, did you guys rent it out to undergrads or grad students? Because
We
I know
rented
if you
to
rent out to undergrads,
every student, as long as you
everybody.
went to a college in the local vicinity, whether it was community or whether it was the state university,
yeah.
as long as you had a student ID
From
then
a
from a
school,
college,
yeah,
then
we
we
rent,
rented to you, whether you're undergraduate or a grad student.
All right.
Did
Well,
you guys
good luck
have
to
any
you.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben. Yep.
Good luck to
have
you.
A good one.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, Rafal, you done? Or what? You got somebody else? Who else you got? Come on, keep it going.
Wow.
What do you got? What do you got, Rafal? I bet you he was doing the polka over the weekend. He was at a wedding, a Polish wedding. He was doing the polka.
The Polish polka? Doing the
Yo,
Macarena.
Hello. How are you? How you doing? What can I do for you?
Ben, how's it going, man? I'm gonna keep this quick. I know you got school early in the morning. My question is, so I currently carry no debt, and I recently inherited some money tax free, a couple $1 million, and I am looking to divest my portfolio and invest in some real estate. Now, I went to a brokerage which I have my money sitting with, and they basically offered me to basically take out a line of credit against my money for a duration of 10 years at a fixed interest rate of 3% a year. So basically, for every $1 that I have, they'll give me 80 cents, and I have to pay them interest only for the next 10 years at 3%. So what I want to start doing is I want to start using that money to buy up real estate. But the problem that I'm running into
but that money that you borrow against your portfolio should only be the down payment. Make them loan you more money.
Because then you can buy more.
Yeah, if you got $2 million sitting there at 80%, that gives you 80% of $2 million, Aaron?
20 million.
What are you talking about? 80% of $2 million.
He can go out
and get 80% of $2 million.
10
gives
million.
out
He can go out and buy.
We're not talking about how much you can buy. We're not at that point yet. It's $2 million times 80%.
1.6
is $1.6 million.
1.6, yeah.
He can use $1.6 million as a down payment, and you only pay for the interest as you use the money. You don't, you're not.
Right.
They give you a line of credit basically for $1.6 million. That's what I do. You do that, and then you use that money as your down payment. So basically, you're borrowing against your own money. Your money's still making money for you. How much is the interest rate they're charging you on that line of credit? 3%.
It's good.
And what are you invested in? But what are you invested in? What is your money making you before we're sitting there right now?
Well, the portfolio it was invested in a lot of Apple and Tesla stock, which I'm sure you know how it did the past year. So
those are maturing.
Yeah,
those are good. Yeah, those are good. I mean, I'm not a stock player, but those are great stocks, but they don't have a dividend, I don't think. So but anyway, I'm surprised they give you 80% on stocks. That's great. But anyway, so fine. You set it up with them. Listen, the line of credit they're giving you can't hurt you. If you use the money, you pay for the money. And then you can pay it back too. If you go out and you buy something, use that money as a down payment, and then later down the line you refinance the property, and then you can pay that money back to your line of credit. And you just keep borrowing, paying back, borrowing, paying back.
So effectively what you're saying is to take out two loans. The first loan against my portfolio for the down payment, and then the second
then
loan.
Use the bank's money.
Yeah, but it's a line of credit.
The bank will be secured with the property. First, you take that $2 million you got, you get your line of credit for $1.6 million, fixed for 3% for 10 years. That's great. Now anytime you want to buy something,
but you don't take the money. You just let it sit there.
You don't have to sell your assets, but you can borrow against it 3%. So there goes your down payment. You're set. You got your down payment. Now you got to go out and find a damn deal. You find a really good deal, then you go back to the bank, say, "Here, I want to buy this apartment building," and you got the down payment, the 20% down, and then the bank gives you the rest, because it's tied to the property. The real estate is the collateral. You got your down payment, you're borrowing the collaterals, your investments, and then the price for the real estate, you're going to borrow as the collateral in the real estate. You got to find a deal.
Right, and then after that, I refinance them
and pay yourself back.
Well, if you can refinance and pay yourself back and pay the line back, that's great. But you're going to have to do something to make that property worth more. You got to find a real super deal. You got to go out and find a deal. You already got the money. All you need to do is get with the right real estate brokers and do your homework and get out there and find the next deal that you know is going to make you money.
So that was the next thing. That's the next thing I'm running into. I've been doing that. I've been doing a ton of research around my area. I've been physically going to probably 3 or 4 properties a day.
Where are you?
I'm in Aventura, Florida. Very expensive area.
Aventura. Yeah, you're struggling over there.
Oh man, that's a high price neighborhood.
Yeah, tell me about it. Now, let me ask you.
The only thing I can see even possible, and don't hold me to this. The only thing I ever considered in Aventura was flipping or renting maybe condos. Sometimes I see nice condos pop up because people die and whatever. Sometimes you see condos, because isn't Aventura mostly condos?
Mostly, the vast majority.
So maybe you can find condos that you could flip if you fix them up. That's the only thing I've ever seen.
Would you recommend doing single family as opposed to dealing with condos that have HOAs and maintenance fees?
I mean, that's got to be a tough market.
Condos are a pain in the ass, but if you can find a cheap enough one to buy that has enough spread, Like if you went in there and you can carry the cost of the HOA dues for so many months, get in there, buy it cheap, throw in some countertops like he was talking about, fix it up to make it more today. Because a lot of people that buy condos in those areas, they don't want to fix them up.
Right.
They want to walk in and they'll pay the extra money and they want them looking right, you know? So I don't know. That's a tough town. That's very expensive over there. You might have to go and look in some, you know, I don't know. Even all of South Florida is hard right now. I mean, even in the toughest neighborhoods, the prices don't make sense. I see all that stuff.
Yeah, but if you come up north a little bit, maybe.
West Palm Beach, I don't know. You're in a tough area, you know. So, but
What's
maybe the
interesting
condos.
is I just moved back. I grew up in Aventura, but I had been living in Orlando for the past 8 years. I went to school up there. So I saw the real estate market in Orlando, and there's way more opportunity up there than there is down here. And I'm thinking about going back.
I mean, if you
what
can
do you
go
do
to
for a living?
Sorry, say it again.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a lawyer.
You're a lawyer. Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, wherever you're going to have a practice at or wherever you're going to work at, you know. But, yeah, real estate's a lot cheaper than Orlando. There's more opportunity in Orlando because it's Orlando.
Orlando has
but
what
Orlando's
we
booming,
call,
too.
They have what we call opportunity zones out there where,
Ooh,
I mean, you as a lawyer,
opportunity
you might be able to, you know, do this stuff. We don't do too much of it, but there's opportunity zones where if you go in and you buy property in that area, you get major tax benefits after you fix it up or do it.
That's
and
everywhere.
that, I mean,
Right.
but
Everywhere.
specifically in Orlando.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless you're willing to flip condos, I don't know what to tell you about where you live. You live in a very expensive place. Nice place, but very
Yeah,
expensive.
it's very nice, but I'm thinking about selling my place and moving back up to Orlando. And last thing, do you have any advice about people who, instead of actually like going out and buying single family properties or multifamily, that they just are in the finance end of things where they just buy and sell notes to properties? Have you ever dabbled in
I mean, you know, I've bought notes. I've never sold notes. I mean, I've bought notes on properties, and then, you know, for whatever reason, I thought I was getting a really good deal on them. But, you know, it's a whole different apple, and it's not something I'm really knowledgeable in. But people do make a lot of money in buying notes. But you got to really be careful who's behind that note and the real estate that's behind that note, and how strong the tenant is, and if you got to you know
Foreclose on them, or what's
foreclose,
gonna
you can
happen.
take a year.
And
they can file
cost.
bankruptcy.
But he's an attorney.
But you're an attorney, so there you go. You can make it. You know.
Okay.
Foreclosures.
And lastly, if you buy a single property, a single family property, and you have tenants in there, do you take out insurance for the property? Like,
Always.
Is there any kind of insurance that you? What kind of insurance?
Was
do
it on a
you need
house
as
you
the
said,
owner
or
of that property?
what'd you say? Is a house or multifamily?
10 units.
House, single family.
Oh, it doesn't matter. If you're renting to a person and they're living in your property, house, single family, duplex, doesn't matter. Number one, you know you got to have insurance covering the place in case of a fire, anything, a windstorm policy in case of a hurricane, whatever that. On top of that, you as a lawyer, you know you got to have liability insurance because the lawyers, they'll tear you apart. They'll eat you up and spit you out, and you're one of them. So, I mean, if you don't want to be, you're a lawyer, you're lucky. You can probably fight your own slip and falls, whatever. I don't know. But you got to have insurance these days to cover liability.
I mean, and if your bank's going to force you to have insurance, if you have any type
Yeah,
of
if you have a
loan
loan
on
on
it,
it,
then
you
your
gotta
bank's
have
going to force you to have insurance
And,
on it.
and if you're smart and you're a
So-
lawyer, you should know you should probably be in an LLC, single member LLC.
Yeah, I mean, that side of things, the whole setting up entities and putting the assets in the entities and limiting liability, that stuff isn't an issue. I'm just trying to get all my ducks in a row for when I actually find a deal. And for the most part, I'm done. The only problem I have now is finding a deal because owners of property around me, like, they're asking these ridiculous prices, and there's almost no opportunity down here.
Yeah, I mean, your area, go back to your area. Your area is tough. I mean, you got too much money in your area. You're around way too many rich people. All right, good luck to you.
Front
door, Aaron.
All right.
Ben, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Love
Good
the
luck.
content. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Is the front door open?
No. I'd give you the code, but we're still live on the air, so I'm not doing that. 2 hours we've been on?
Oh, yeah, we got to go. I got to get him on bed. Okay. All right,
Wrap
we're
it
going
up,
to wrap it up.
wrap it up.
Okay, we're wrapping it up. I got my ride waiting for me, and we're wrapping it up. Good luck to everybody. We'll be
Thank you
back.
guys for
Thanks for letting
calling.
us test out the new podcast room. And good luck, and get busy. Find an agent, find a bank, use the agent, use the bank, and make money.
That's the plan.
All right, now you go back to work. You got checks to sign.
I got checks to sign. Why didn't I have Aaron stamp them the whole time he was here?
Could've.
That's what I should have did.
Right.
I just thought about it right now.
Could have been sitting there
Stamping all the checks for me.
Matt would have done it.
Matt would have did it.
Could have gave half to him and half to
But
him.
if he would have made sure that the invoice numbers were right.
Blah, blah, blah.
And stuff
All
like
right,
that. All right.
adios.
Good night. Good night. Adios.